Happy Sunday. How's everybody doing? Hopefully y'all can hear me. Hold on, let me take this down. All right, there we go. There we go. Happy Sunday, y'all. I feel like I ain't talked to y'all in forever. Everybody all right? Or what? I'm multitasking both in both chat. Listen, Charlie, he doesn't know how to just wrap stuff up. Like, I'm tired of waiting. Cause yeah, no. So let's see who all in here will be starting. Let's see. Okay, there we go. I don't know what was going on with my computer, but we're good. We're good. So once again, welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Sunday. Wait 1 second. Let's see who we got all up in here. Let's see. Of course, we got Charlie. We got Cosmic Girly. We got Respectfully and Bernie. Thank you so much for dropping in the chat. Then we have, yep, Respectfully and Bernie. Give me 1 second. How's everybody day going? Hold on. What in the? Oh, there it go. Lou. Okay, I don't know why I couldn't slide down all the way. Lou, welcome, welcome, welcome. So we are about to get started momentarily. I'm just waiting on the guest. 1 second. All right. Sorry, I had to send a text to somebody. Respect. Oh, splendid. Hey, and Bernie, if you could do me, check your. If you could do me, if you could do me a favor, check your Instagram for me. I need you to check that. 1 second. All right. So I'm waiting on M Bernie. Let me see. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you, M Bernie. I was totally not picking on envy about those again. Charlie, hush. Charlie, Charlie. I don't know why this comment just like really, really, really tickled me. Oh, listen, I, I heard him talking about that whole sweatpant thing, and I'm just like, oh God. But I didn't know you were the one. Oh. Charlie, I'm sorry. That Charlie, I don't know why that is tickling me. That is so random. That was so random. But yeah, yeah, we made it through the weekend. It's the end of the weekend, but yet the beginning of a new work week. Okay. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm already ready for Friday to get here. Okay. Already. Mm. Ooh, I'm sorry. I had to get some to drink. I got to make y'all listen. I was not expecting that whole gray sweatpants conversation to come back up today. Oh, that was just way too funny. So I appreciate the laugh. Let me see if Bernie hit me back. But yes, y'all, what y'all do today? Anybody cook? Anybody cook? I'm already ready for sleep, but I gave up my. Listen, Charlie, honey, I was so tired. I left church early. Okay. I tiptoed through the tulips and walked right on that church early so I can come home. Okay. Because I am so ready to go to bed. Like, have you ever been so sleepy and so tired to the point where it's like the only thing you can like think about, dream about, ponder about is how it's going to feel when my face hits that pillow and I pull that blanket up over my shoulder and I roll over to find that sweet spot. Oh, it's a wrap. A wrap. But anyway, y'all, it is Sunday and it is the eighth episode of Girl Talk. Let me see. And I am so, so, so excited. Okay. So I am definitely glad that I made it to the eighth episode. So many people had so much negative to say, but we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna jump right on. I see you in the back, Booski. Look at you, look at our. So we're gonna go ahead and bring up the special guest. Listen, for those of y'all that were, was it Wednesday? Third Wednesday, Thursday, I think it was Wednesday. I announced who my special co-host and guest was this week. This is somebody that I've always just found to be very intriguing. To hear her talk, it's amazing. Like, you ever met somebody that when they talk, the only thing you wanted to do was just sit there with pen and paper? It's just like, right. You don't even know, like, you don't care what they're talking about, but they're just so well spoken and very articulate. Like you just want to sit and just like take notes and write. That's how this person is to me, okay? And I'm grateful for this person because this morning she said something that kind of checked my spirit a little bit. See, because late in the midnight hour, I heard somebody over there in Philadelphia had a lot to say. One moment I was his daughter. My channel was doing great. Girl Talk was amazing. Then it switched to I'm a hooker. I'm being pimped out by envy. What was the other one? Oh, Girl Talk is boring because you need a panel. You're boring. Have you ever had a round table talk or a TED talk with just one individual? No, stupid. You haven't. So I was so prepared to respond. But my co-host today, yes, Corey, your lover, pimped out. Because they say envy don't get me no money. See, this is what we talking about counting pockets. You worry about what's floating in and out of your cash up in your bank. See, I'm not doing that. So right when I was getting ready to prepare a response, this young lady hit the link today. She was being funny, but I understood it and I needed to hear it. She got up there and she made reference to something, like I said, that kind of checked my spirit a little bit. She was talking about a scripture, and I needed to hear this. She was talking about Isaiah 7:4 when God told King Ahaz to take heed and be quiet. That means pay attention and shut up. Everything don't need a response. So when I heard that, the rest of my day was just like, okay, I'm good. Thank you, Lord. I needed to hear that because I was getting ready to go balls to the walls crazy. Because I don't like stuff like that if I ain't disrespecting you. So, with that being said, that wonderful individual, not only is she beautiful, not only is she funny, but she's highly intelligent. Okay. The one, I'm so sick of her back here. I'm so sick of her. The one and the only. M. Barney.
Y'all, I was back there cutting up. How is my sound? Is my sound okay?
You sound fantastic.
Yeah, I
You
was back
sound
there cutting
fantastic.
up. I started stemming and everything. I started rocking. Then I started, giving her some, some Buddhist praise. And I said, child, I started getting nervous. Like, oh, who's she
Please.
talking about? I got on my church pearls today so that
I
I
love
keep
it,
it,
honey.
keep
Listen,
it
I still got on
in
my church
check.
dress. I still got my church dress on, the church girdle, and the wig, honey. I'm just like, because if I take this off, I'm putting on pajamas and getting into bed going to sleep. Okay. So I said, let me just stay on up. And I was
Sober.
making some frog balls for the week. So I said, all right. And for those that want to know, frog balls is really not frogs. It's just pickled Brussels sprouts. That's just what we call them in the South.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So yes, welcome in Bernie.
Mhm.
First and foremost, I am so. Yeah, she does look cute, doesn't she, Choreo Lover? Absolutely. Oh, let me
Thank
greet
you.
the people that came on up in here. We got Choreo Lover, Cosmic Girly, Patricia Alexander. Hey, my love, welcome. I think Vibrant, the moderator extraordinaire, honey. I don't know how we could do it without you, Ron P,
It's not
Cali
gonna happen.
Sky. It's not. It's not. So I am
It's not gonna
definitely
happen.
grateful. Mimi, welcome, baby. I didn't even see you slide on through the church doors. Okay. Who else we got up in here? Let's see, because y'all can't run it. Corey, your lover. Rico, Debrat.
You
Hey,
said
boo. There
Patricia
goes.
Alexander.
Uh-huh. Ain't that her name?
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm,
Am I lagging a little bit? Let me know.
mm-mm. Mm-mm. You not. Oh.
Okay.
You
Okay. Good.
you
Good. Good. Good.
not.
Good.
There goes my boo MGO. MGO. Don't hey, MGO, listen. Stop explaining
Oh, I'm so
yourself.
glad she's here. I'm so
Okay?
glad she's here.
Stop explaining yourself to these
Mhm.
people. You explaining yourself to somebody who probably don't even know what an I-9, a 990 report is. Cut that out. See, because some people just want to have something to say just to hear themselves talk. Baby, stop. Listen, I'm going into my 39th year, like Jay Dunn says. And like my grandma and them say, you ain't going to worry me none. That's what you ain't going to do. Who else we got up in here? Choreo.
Gosh.
And if I missed anybody, I am so sorry. I think that's everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, for those of y'all coming in, honey, greet your neighbors. Extend the right hand of fellowship to them. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get started. So, and Bernie, how was your day, my love?
My day was splendid. Um, I was tested and tried. I was put under a microscope, and I
Hmm.
passed, far as I'm concerned.
Okay, that's all that matters. You passed, okay? See, because that's the problem. My
Yeah.
mom used to always tell me sometimes when you find yourself going through the same thing over and over again, it's because at some point in time this test done came and you didn't pass it the first time. So here you are.
Yes, ma'am.
So, honey, once you
Yeah.
get tested and you pass it, go on to the next.
Listen, if at 58 I can't continually pass things because at 58, at this big old age, this big age energy, I should be able to let things slide. But here's the
Absolutely.
kicker. All right,
Okay.
well, here's the kicker. Um, 9 times out of 10, I can't let it slide. I mean, I should,
Why can't you let
but
it slide?
it is in my DNA. Um,
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't for my family and spiritually, I'm the what they call it, the historian. So
Mm-hmm.
so I'm about keeping truth in place. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I got years and years. I think before I've showed y'all pictures of when my great grandmother and grandfather were sharecroppers. I'm the historian in my family, so I know I pop off anytime I hear a lie. I it And a lot of people are let me tell you why I come back with such clarity.
Okay.
Because one thing I did realize was as much as I say I didn't care what people thought, oh now I know I don't really care what people think. And I used to and we talking about identity is so apropos. I used to dim my light for people.
Oh.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I used to dim my light because I used to bite my tongue. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
know y'all think I'll pop off, but y'all have no idea how what it took for me to get there.
My God, today.
So this, okay. So this time around, I turned 58 and I finally am saying, first of all, I don't know how I'm 58. The fuck? What happened? I'm sorry. And like,
Are
where
you
did
good,
time
boo?
go? Where did
Yes.
the time go? And
Yep.
then, and then it's at this point, I don't care. And you get
Listen.
such an independence when you hit a certain age. It's like, what you gonna do that ain't already been done to me, boo? And what you gonna say
Exactly.
that ain't already been said? I'd have been told to do this, do that. So, even my son, he used to laugh and say, "Mom, I don't be fighting them gay boys out there. They know how they've been fighting all their life,
Okay. All they life.
right?" So
Oh.
now, where I am in my identity is purity, clarity, and my voice is going to ring out. I don't care if they think it's mental illness because I had never
Mhm.
been more clear in my life. You know, I was saying on my live earlier, I hope I'm not talking too much,
No,
but
no,
I
no. You're
was,
fine, baby.
because we're talking about identity,
Yes, I'm about to say we
and
honey, we just hopped right on into it. So
we
let's
just
go.
got right in there. And for a long time, RY, I've been a wife, and
Yes.
I ain't got no problem. I've been, my first husband passed. My second husband, we were married for 15 years,
Mhm.
and my wife, we were married for 6 years. Now,
Okay.
here's the thing that I always like to tell people, and this also goes into, I think that was your second choice was how do you keep your identity in a relationship? Was that the
Independence
other?
within a relationship and
Independence.
identity crisis. Uh-huh.
Okay. So you see that girl, I've been thinking about it. So when you get married like that, you
Uh-huh.
you you or even when you're in a relationship, you shrink if you're not careful. You
Mm.
lose you'll start to erase. And you won't even know it until like you ever see them ghostly shows when they be like the person turn into sand and then their body just shrinks on out,
Yes.
like Harry Potter when they say when they turn them into salt and they go
Mhm.
and that's how we are as women, as nurturers in relationships. we are prone to losing ourselves to care for everybody else. And then we are prone to always wanting to make other people, especially those we love, happy. But in that, sometimes, there has to be boundaries, borders, and just a certain level of respect, especially since both of y'all are content creators. Oh, I love it.
Hmm.
I love it. I love it. I'm gonna stop right there. I'm gonna stop right there. Look at me, y'all. I'm over here stemming. Y'all don't know. I'm over here. I'm sitting here with my legs crossed on my couch. I ain't got my background done yet. Timu take 3 weeks, child. Timu take
Okay.
3 weeks.
Listen, I believe in Sheen and Timu. I don't care what nobody say.
For
I don't care.
that stuff,
Listen.
absolutely. Yeah, I
I
want
had
to
to
put
fuss
some
my sister out because she
yeah.
decided to buy. I had to fuss my sister out a couple of weeks ago because she decided to buy a portable washer and dryer from Timu. I said, and if you think that's gonna work more than 4 hours, you crazy. Lo and
Did
behold,
it
the
mess
next day
up?
it messed up the
Did it
next
come
day. I
like
said,
this?
that's what you get. Yes,
Did it
it was
come like this?
small.
And then they fold them
Yes.
up into some washer and dryer.
She said, I just wanted to see what it looked like. Girl, you couldn't pull up YouTube and look at it. That's crazy. Just retarded. Golly.
Ooh,
I
like
was like,
why?
you decided to spend $20 on that. Girl, you crazy. You stupid. But anyway, child. But yes,
Anyway,
I'm a big Timu and Sheen. Thank you, Cosmic Girlie. Sheen is dope. I don't care what nobody say. Okay.
like it's with
Especially when
stuff
you got
like that,
Apple
like
Pay.
I be ordering flower pots and I be ordering
Oh.
stuff that I really ain't going to the store. I don't feel like going to the store looking for flower pots. I get 10 for
Hmm.
$2 out of China.
Okay. Hey, Diana from Brooklyn. No, baby, you're not late. You're not late at
Oh,
all. Okay, so
mm-mm.
back to this
I'm
identity
sorry.
thing. No,
I don't want
you're
to
fine.
wear I don't want to wear my glasses because of the glare. But so if I miss you speaking, I'm sorry, you guys in the chat. Okay,
You are
you stimming
fine.
right now? Okay.
Okay,
MGO
I
says
keep
she's
hearing this
stimming right
stemming.
now too.
What does that
Yeah.
mean? What does stemming mean?
Um, People who are on the spectrum or have ADHD, especially adult ADHD, where when we
Hmm.
were younger, we did not know how to self-soothe. So if you're on the spectrum, autism, whatever spectrum you're on, stemming helps us feel like we're back in control. So right now I'm stemming by doing this. Some people stem, they'll do a cloth, they might do this. It's it's
Oh,
a
okay.
it's a neurological thing. Like you see,
Oh,
if you ever look at Muffy on TikTok, her son she
yes.
girl,
Okay.
you need to be giving it to that boy, honey. She
Yes.
be like, who you
Okay.
talking to? That we see him
Wow.
stem. We see him do things like that. That's stemming. But I just happen,
Okay.
mine's not working. Mine is motion. So I try
Okay.
to keep it.
So MGO said it's self-stimulatory behavior like rocking. See, you learn
Yes.
something new every day. Thank you so much for that, y'all. I
Yes.
appreciate that.
Now
So
I
now
can't well because I look
you
crazy, but I'm rubbing
no,
my
you
hands
don't.
like this.
You don't look crazy. You don't look crazy at all. So now jumping back into this identity. Oh, I can't even talk today. I've been singing all morning, okay? So back to this
Okay.
identity crisis,
Well,
especially
I've been
with
fighting
men.
all morning.
Yo, honey, yes you have. And listen, I have been
Mm-mm,
tickled.
mm-mm. All right. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm,
Tickled.
mm.
I was tickled. And honey, when I heard you going off yesterday, I said, up and burn it back, y'all. Y'all, y'all, y'all niggas better be careful because
Busting my own
a lot of
pearls.
y'all knew y'all know how she
They
really get
don't. They
about.
don't
Okay,
know. Yeah. Yeah.
so I
They
just
don't
thought that
know.
was
But it's.
funny. Now,
I'm sorry
when it
about that.
comes to no, 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 you're fine, baby. So when it comes to identity crisis, especially within a relationship, right? I was looking it up, and it says that it happens when the we kind of overshadows the me, right? So, how does one navigate a relationship while dealing with identity crisis, all in the name of I just want to make sure my partner is okay. Me, I can take the back
Love.
seat.
All for love. Isn't that crazy?
That's very
Here,
crazy.
here's what I found, RMY. I
Hmm.
don't, and I'm not sure if this is how you're asking, but um, I constantly ground myself with myself.
Ooh,
I constantly make eggs that I like. I don't care damn what y'all want. I like scrambled. But you will
okay.
forget because let's say if he likes sunny side up, and you're
Hmm.
constantly making him breakfast, you'll make you a sunny side up just because you're just doing them. But no, make your scramble. You're independent. Now this seems small right now when I'm telling you, but you're
Hmm.
gonna see it in a big way how to utilize those small things just so you don't lose yourself. Just so
Okay.
um keeping yourself even independent from envy show and your show.
Hmm.
Great. You have to have your own voice. You have to have your own outlet. Also making sure if you used to like to swim and now you boys only want to play basketball, go swimming. Get your membership at the Y. Like those are ways that you keep your identity. I remember my second marriage and having been married for 15 years to a police officer. I lost my identity. I did. Um, I lost it because I was super mom, raising three boys, and a
Mm.
police officer's wife, and you know, I lost my identity in uh, the police officer guild and the wives of
Yeah.
cops, and I lost my identity then. And it's that's why I always tell people I didn't fail at marriage. My actual marriage was a success for 15 years. It was that 16th year it didn't go so well. We raised three beautiful children.
And you
We
should be
bought three
proud.
houses.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
So, ain't nobody gonna tell me I failed at nothing, honey. It's really on how
Exactly.
I see me. Look at that coming right back around. It's how I see me. Now, in your eyes, that may be a failure. In my eyes, honey, I that's a rebirth in my eyes. My identity had to come back. I had shrunk. I had made myself. You know what? I remember writing a letter to my ex, and I don't mind saying to say he don't need that at this point in life. And I said, I'm tired of being happiness for this household. I'm tired of
Mm.
being the joy. I'm tired of being the one that has to keep it upbeat and
Yeah.
because when you come home from work, I want to be a good wife. I want to make sure your uniforms are clean. I want to make sure the kids are settled down and quiet for the night. I want to make sure you're happy, and I want to make sure you're providing and doing what you need to do. But as time grew, for him being an officer, he became he he was not emotionally available. He was not. So with that, I would be emotions for the whole house. Hey, everybody, let's
Mm.
dance. Let's play. And that's okay. That is okay for a time. And then when the time was over, I left and I lived my identity. I lived my true identity. And we all know I came out and all of that. So, but
Okay.
for me, you keep yourself by remembering the things you used to do and that you used to, and make sure you incorporate that by yourself. Because this is
Right.
where a lot of women make mistakes. They think they got to do everything. No, I need you. If you used to like to walk in that wood park that had the crickety little boards, but by yourself, go back to that park at lunch and walk. Re-energize you, and don't and that way you don't lose yourself. Not all of you.
Okay. Okay. Now let me ask you this. When it comes to the identity portion, right? Do you feel like losing your identity and settling are parallel to each other?
Absolutely,
Wow.
absolutely. Now, if you had asked me this question, I'm gonna be very honest.
Okay.
If you had asked me this question 6 months ago,
Mhm.
I would have told you this, and you'll understand because you're a church girl like me.
Mhm.
Um, divorce is not in the cards for us, you
Right.
know, and we better know it. divorce is not in the cards for, you know,
Mm-hmm.
why she's not doing it, especially at this
Hmm.
age.
Okay.
But you know what I mean. But for me, I forgot. Oh, girl, what you asked me? I'm sorry. I started thinking
No,
about.
you're fine. No,
No,
you're fine.
I don't want
No,
to
the
talk
question.
because I'm trying to not talk about envy. I really am.
No, the question was, do you think that losing your identity and settling run parallel to each other?
Yes. So here's what I was going to say before I
Hmm.
did the whole dissertation. I did a disclaimer. So I was settling for being all of those things, um, and you have no choice but to lose yourself because the real you would not settle for that type of treatment. You wouldn't
Hmm.
settle for somebody who is emotionally checked out that you can't blame. He's seeing murders every night. How am I going to blame him? So
Exactly.
I was a good wife, good mom, and all that. Do you know, up until 6 months ago, for me, I wish I
Hmm.
had stayed 5 more years.
Why?
My youngest was still in high school, and we had a very amicable divorce. We didn't do child support and things like that. You don't do that to officers of the law. You don't take them to court and all that. They pay their what they're supposed to. But it
Hmm.
ended up being when I got them, I take care of them. When you got them, you take care of them. And you buy them fancy sneakers. I don't wear them, so I don't have to buy them. But he took the boys back to Philly, and
Okay.
I stayed in South Carolina. It was very scary because I was trying to find my identity again, the one before, I met him that was that loved herself, was satisfied. It wasn't like I didn't love myself. It's just that I disappeared. I didn't remember what eggs I liked. Y'all remember that
Mm.
metaphor. Remember that
Hmm.
metaphor. If you forget what eggs you like because you steady making Johnny eggs the way he like, I'm gonna need you to
Okay.
pull back. I'm gonna need you to pull back.
But
So
speaking of envy, since you was talking about that and then the whole eggs thing, it made me think about when we hung out the first time, right? I told him I was vegan. I said, "Well, this is what I don't eat." Da 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 da. Da. He was
mhm.
like, mm. So I said, "Well, what does that mean?" He said, "Well," he said, "I can go outside and dig up some dirt and some grass and say, and say,
You still Ayana.
and say, here you go." I'm just like, what? I said, "So if I cooked vegan food for you, would you eat it?" He said, "Hell no." I said, "Okay,
He don't
fine
know.
by
He don't
me."
know. Hmm.
Fine by me. So you actually had a question, two good questions that came in the chat. This is
Okay,
from
I'm
Cosmic
sorry,
Girly.
guys.
No,
I'm
no, no.
trying to
You're fine.
avoid.
You are
Okay,
fine,
I
baby.
don't
You
have
are
my
fine. I
glasses
promise.
on.
Cosmic
Okay,
Girly said, RNY, can you ask her, how do we know our true identity?
listen. Can I tell y'all a secret?
Hmm.
I ain't never had a problem talking about mental health. I did it for years.
Okay.
So I have me and my wife were cool as a fan.
Hmm.
Cool as a fan. Why? Oh, I look like Easy E. I'm letting my locks grow back.
You know what?
I'm trying to slow myself down. I don't want to say
No,
too
you
much.
good. You good, boo.
But I would say to her, because I've had, episodes. I have mental illness. I'm not bipolar though, but the things that draw anxiety out of me is ghostly.
Hmm.
So sometimes I would call her and I say, "Is this the real me?" Mm,
Wow.
yeah, and that's a big thing to admit when you have to ask somebody, "Is this the real you?"
Okay, so now if I can kind of spin off of that question, you had to call
Hmm.
your wife and ask her, is this the real you? When
Hmm.
did you have this identity click in your head? Was it when you were married to the husband or to the wife?
Um, no, it's only with the wife.
Okay.
And here's the thing, the reason why I could ask her is because she was very familiar with me. So when things would happen, and this weekend was a great example for today. When things would happen, I would feel so bad after I done snapped on somebody who deserved it. I would
Mm-hmm.
feel so bad. I would take that inward and say, "Am I being mean? No, you're being
Woo.
straightforward. Am I being too hard? No, you're standing up for yourself. Am I being judgmental? No, you're speaking truth. So there will be a time in your life where you have to keep
Yes.
identifying yourself to yourself. Okay? So
Mm.
I will call her and I'll be like, look, just hear what happened. Okay? Am I me? She's like, nah, you on spot with that because I don't cuss, Or she'll say, nah, you manic right now.
Aw. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
Now
MGO
we don't
asks,
do that, and we don't do that anymore. I have a
uh-oh.
therapist for that now, and a
Very
psychiatrist.
good. Very good. I am so for therapy, okay? So for therapy because as a church girl, you know what I'm talking about, honey. Growing up in church, one thing that they did not really believe in was therapy.
Is
Their
going
form
to
of
the doctors,
therapy, right? Their form of therapy
get to
was
that
you come down here
altar,
to this Terrian service, you get down on your knees and you say
girl.
Jesus, Jesus, Jesus until your mouth is dry,
You go
and you get the
down
foam
is you go down in sackcloth and
and
ashes. You
ashes.
know you do, and ashes. Meaning you wore your worst tattered clothes on that 12 midnight. What was it they
Baby,
call it? That prayer
shut
night.
ins. Them
You
shut ins,
shut
honey.
in, girl, and you wwent down in sackcloth and ashes
And you didn't come up until you said
until
Jesus at
you
least 500
until you
times.
said, or until you were passed out like me, girl. I faked it,
Yes.
girl. I used to
Honey,
fake it because,
bringing
or
them little
listen,
white trash buckets in front of you because you're throwing up.
wait
I'm
a
like,
minute.
Jesus.
Let me digress for 1 second, girl. Or you go in them lines, and it's the now.
Uh-huh.
Girl, I ain't felt nothing, and she stayed pushing on my forehead. Girl, I just
Listen,
go down. I just go down.
not me, honey. I stand there and I lock these knees. You ain't about to make me fall out in this floor in this good dress I got on.
Oh,
Absolutely not.
I fall. I just go down because I wanted to stop pushing on me.
Exactly. Like, back up, please.
I'd be
Back up.
like,
And then too, going back, and I'm gonna ask this question that MGO
ooh,
had, but before I do that, I want to make this reference as well. When it comes to identity, and you said with your husband, you kind of lost your identity, and I would like to think that that also comes from being raised in the black church, and you know where I'm getting ready to go when I say this, because the number one thing, oh God, especially, did y'all have purity classes? Oh,
ooh.
baby, I hated purity class because this is the one thing they always said. Well, honey, y'all supposed to grow up and y'all supposed to be Proverbs 31 women. Excuse me?
I ain't been,
Who can
I
find
ain't
a
been her
virtuous
yet.
woman? Okay, I understand the virtuous woman part,
I ain't never
but
been virtuous. I'm lying, child. I'm 15 years. Oh, girl, I
listen.
loved being a wife. Despite of losing myself, I also had fun. I also drove a Land Rover, Mercedes, a Lexus, and I was a soccer mom. All I did was
Mhm.
take them turn to practice in school, and all. I enjoyed those 15 years. I mean, it was awesome. I love being a wife. So forgive me if I get married. I'm gonna talk about ghetto tomorrow, but that's a whole nother story. I had to get it in. I got
For those of y'all that don't know M. Birdie Honey, this here she is. This is her, but she's tamed
oh.
down today. Oh, but when she's get turned, you better run. Okay.
You said
Now
it. This is her. This is
this is
my
her,
identity. And how many
literally.
years have I not been her? Or why? For
You
real.
see what I'm saying? For a while.
For a
Now
while.
MGO asks, what changed
Hmm.
6 months ago to cause you to view it differently?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked that. Um, I, I I I thought about it real hard because here's the kicker, and I didn't say this part. When I wanted to get a divorce, I went to, especially being a minister in the AME church at the time.
Oh,
Yeah, I was a
baby.
minister in the AME church. So we went to counseling, and my uh, father in the Lord, my bishop,
Mhm.
my friend, told me, if you get a divorce, you're gonna be destitute the rest of your life.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, I hated that. Oh, I hated that for a number of reasons. Because if they're going to go biblical, then I would then have to ask him, well, sir, how many times have you been married? Because technically the Bible says you're supposed to be the husband of one, one wife. But oh, how to carry up a seat, because that right there, that just triggered me a little bit. I'm sorry. I'm
No, you're
sorry.
fine. And that's what made, but it wasn't, y'all, this is why I said certain lights come on.
Hmm.
So, and certain times you get triggered. And for me, anything, I'm trigger happy girl. Um,
Hmm.
and it just depends on what season. And it's not that it doesn't matter if I'm triggered. It matters how I respond. It doesn't matter how many times I get triggered. How am I going to respond? So, when you look at things from that standpoint, when my identity was lost, I really thought I was who I was. Even though I was having a good time, I bought houses, we had everything. That was I how can I say it? When that man told me I would be destitute, I walked in that for a long time, y'all.
Why? Is it because of the reverence you had for him, and because he was the shepherd over your soul, you kind of like kept that close to the chest and you let that penetrate your spirit?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I um I took that hurt and I digested it, and I went into survival mode not to be destitute. Even though in the end I did lose my home. I did lose when you, especially in the South, when you get a divorce. I couldn't tell nobody I was lesbian. He's a cop. You know how fast they would have took my kids from me? And
Real fast.
I'm in Orangeburg, South Carolina.
Oh,
You know how
gee.
you know how quick some people took my child from me,
Yeah.
all three of them. So
Wow.
so yeah, it was ingrained in me what he said because it spoke to my spirit. Because when you get divorced or when you separate with somebody you've been when it's I'm still in this from TD Jakes. It's like that heart, two hearts, and you put Elmer's glue and you glue them together.
Hmm.
That's marriage. That's marriage. But when you try to stay identified, it starts to pull apart. Now, if you come back to all of that, it's fine. But if you end up like me in divorce, you're never the same. You can't pull those pieces, them hearts from each other. Elmer's glue don't gonna eat that up. You ain't got no
Right.
respect. You'll never be the same. And because I wasn't the same, he spoke that into my spirit. And it wasn't until 6 months ago
Mm. Dang.
I had become destitute. I don't know if a lot of you had heard me get dragged last year and about my status and where and I lived and all of the things. Um, I lived under someone that I felt cursed me with poverty because I
Oh,
got a
wow.
divorce. Mhm. I believe in God and the leaders and their wisdom. That's why I'm like I am now. I'm
Hmm.
not gonna shut up. And I believed him and I love him. I ain't spoke to him since that day. I walked out the church that day and never came back. Ever.
Really?
Yeah. You can't do that to God's people. None we're supposed to be the greater, not the lesser. We're supposed to have the most. Okay? Our Father takes care of us, and you're telling me I'm gonna be destitute
The pastor of
and
the church said that?
yeah, the
See, let
bishop.
me tell you something. See, people like that, I'm very leery of. See, because I feel like I can have this conversation with you because you know where I'm going. There's a scripture that says, it's better for you to tie a millstone around your neck and throw yourself into that ocean before you cause one of God's children to stumble. That's
before
why
you
we
cause them
have
to look
to
back.
be careful. You have to be careful
Hmm.
with the stuff you say out your mouth. And this is one reason why I feel like a lot of people have kind of been like, you know what? I'm good on church. I'll figure out this Christian thing on my own.
Let me tell you something, and y'all, please don't take this as braggadocious or boasting. I'm so loving this conversation. It is helping me so much. But
Hmm.
a lot of you don't know. I used to sit on the pulpit with Juanita Bynum and T.D. Jakes and all of them. I preached to thousands, uh, all of that.
Hmm.
So when that man spoke to my spirit, we were under a different type of authority back then. They don't have that
Hmm.
same authority in the church no more,
Right.
you know. And when he spoke that, I want y'all to understand something. And I'm learning this as I'm writing. Stop telling the bad part without them telling the people how you got there. Because when I came
See
out
what
here
I'm
telling
saying?
everybody what I did in the 80s, now I'm a crackhead all over the place. Now
Oh,
all I
child, I'm so
did,
sick of hearing that.
right. And all
I'm
I
sick of
did was say
hearing
I
it.
took a little bump at a party and now I'm a crackhead, right? So I have to be careful how I put stuff out here now. But
Yes.
this here, I'm not going to hold back because what happened was
Okay.
um, my ex-husband, who was my husband at the time,
Hmm.
I had spoke to him and I said, I don't care what that man say. I want a divorce, just that and the third. I really feel like I need to get back to me. My children were at a great age. The oldest was off to college and the other was high school and one was on his way to high school. So I had done the nurturing part. These are young men now. They definitely need their father. But I refuse to really it defined me, but it defined me differently. I don't know if y'all know this about me, but I was the first Black woman who worked for Orkin Pest Control in South Carolina, Jersey, South Carolina, Georgia, and North Carolina. The only female Black in
Mm.
over all the way over to Virginia.
Wow.
So I've gotten a lot of milestones. I
Hmm.
love killing bugs. I was the one they called when people didn't like, men in their house, and I
Hold on.
loved it. They
Hold
gave
on. You said you like killing bugs?
oh hell yeah, pest control.
Oh, okay.
It's yeah, it's eschatology. You gotta know how bugs yeah, I ain't never seen a roach I can't kill. I'm But guess why I did all of that? Guess why I
Why?
did went in crawl spaces and attics and chased rats? Because my kids lived up north and I refused to be destitute.
Oh,
When
yeah.
football season started, every Friday night I got on my ass on a plane, made it to the Friday night light games, made it to the Saturday games, and flew back home on Sunday. I did this for 5 years until my last one graduated. So that's why I would always say I'm gonna keep. I wish I had stayed 5 more years. Up until
Hmm.
6 months ago, and I really had to look at that thing like you didn't make no mistakes. You didn't. You did what was right for you, and nobody could tell you what was right for you. Nobody could tell you you're going to be destitute. So I'm thinking
Wow.
all these years I'm going to be destitute, broke, crying, disgusted, and busted. So one day I went and cleaned the vice president in the region of Time Warner Cable. I wouldn't, I got rid of his palmetto bugs, which is hard to do, but I did it. And he caught me coming out the crawl space, and he was
Uh-huh.
like, He said, you climb roofs? I said, absolutely. He hired me to be the first female um, technician at Time Warner
Wow.
Cable. Yeah. And that was in South Carolina because North Carolina, honey, the Queen City, they been had them studs lifting them
Yeah.
75-pound ladders. Listen, if y'all only knew what it takes to do, I can carry a 75-pound ladder on my shoulder, lift it up a pole in the middle of a strand, hang it, and climb that bitch. I
Up.
did that because that man told me I was gonna be destitute. No, I'm not.
Mm.
And I'm gonna see my kids. Y'all not gonna get me. You're not gonna get me on that. Come what may, I'm gonna see my kids. After that, it just kept rolling on and rolling on.
Mhm.
Every time I did one job, another job, they would be like, "Can we hire you? We're gonna give you the." So that's
Wow.
how I did it. Now that's
That's
how
crazy.
I listen. But what was so bad was
Mhm.
I didn't know none of them identities. Now you talk about imposter syndrome. You talk about
Oh,
fake it till you make it.
and Bernie, can you stay out of my baby? I had imposter syndrome. Listen, because I've
You
been
talk
reading
about
up on
imposter.
that.
That's big.
I
I
have
think
been
I've
reading up
had it
on
a
imposter
time or two.
syndrome now for like the last maybe 2 weeks. Because I'm just
I
like,
think
how
I've
can I
had it a
roll this
time or two.
out?
I
It
had
is
to be somebody else,
crazy.
y'all. Listen, and I'm just sharing, y'all. I hope y'all don't think I'm. So,
No,
uh,
that's what space is for.
the regional vice president was a black guy. They never had a black guy. So, and
Mhm.
he hired me, a black woman. Uh, 196 texts, one woman, me. Okay, I
Wow.
had to come in. They would do the classes, and they'd be talking about titties. And I
Mhm.
used to have to stand up and demand, y'all gonna cut that shit out because my titties don't look that good now.
You know what?
No, but I imposter syndrome. I gotta do what
God.
gotta do. And if I need to fake it, if I need to listen, I used to climb poles like this. I gotta get this money. I gotta get this money. I gotta see my sons. I gotta see my son. Gotta see my
Yeah.
son. 70 feet in the air, whatever, right underneath the power lines. That's how I was driven because that man told me I was gonna be
Wow.
destitute. Yeah, but when it all fell down, when I got really sick in
Mhm.
2015,
Mhm.
um, it was bad. Then I got okay, and then COVID came, and I was back in the house. I was back isolated. So
Oh.
yeah, so it now now
Mhm.
I had asked my therapist one day. I said, I want us to discover why I change my name all the time. And she
Okay.
said, because you want to. I said, I've always attributed that to imposter syndrome or identity crisis. She said, you changed your name, not who you are.
Mm.
Girl, the light bulbs be coming on with me. I'm like, all
See
right,
what I'm saying?
we 30 minutes in. I'll be like, I'll see you next week. I had enough
Okay.
today. She be killing me. I said, and I just start going back in person. I've
Mhm.
for the last 2 years I did virtually, and my psychiatrist virtually said, I need you to go into a location. She said, what
Mhm.
you're missing is uh, um, uh, my sensories. She said, you need to see somebody, touch him. You need to be able to see, you
Yeah.
know, yeah, you can't do this no more because we're not in COVID.
Right.
and
Exactly.
and it causes you to be socially really inept.
Mhm.
So that's what I do now, and I go out to see her. Girl, I'm an old lady. They come pick me up sometimes. I feel like I get on that little van with my hip up.
Okay. Y'all,
I ain't
y'all
paying
come
no
get
gas.
me.
I'm not paying those gas prices. I'm just not. I'm just
Oh,
not.
child.
When they can come get
No.
me. But that's what made me really realize in each stage of my life how when
Mhm.
things went bad or things went awry, I can remember trying to build myself back up. So for those who have a problem with people who may constantly change their names or do certain things that you don't
Mhm.
understand, mind your business. Because
Okay.
what
Mind your business.
mind your business because what they are doing is they are trying to build themselves up from the bottom sometimes.
Yes.
And if I need to say, call me, my child name is Mink. If I need to say,
Mhm.
call me Mink, then call me. If I put M. Bernie, then call me M. Bernie. If I put respectfully, if I put M. Bernie, then Blas M. Bernie, then speaks M. Bernie, whatever I put, what
Yes.
does that have to do with you? As long as who I am is who I am. Now, the problem came in a few years ago when I started losing my own identity. And then,
Okay.
oh, I don't have no problem saying that. Mm-mm.
You know what this
I,
reminds me of? If I could borrow a scene from What's Love Got to Do with It? When Tina Turner walked in the
everything.
court, she said, "Honey, he can have all the things, but what he ain't gonna take is my identity,
My
my name. I
name.
worked too hard
Hmm.
to be who I am
Yes.
today. You ain't gonna take that from me."
Now
So
mine
I
is the
get it.
opposite. Mine is
Okay.
the opposite. Um, I got in my degree, I could go back to my maiden name. I'm keeping my married name. This name is the shit. This name got good credit. This
Okay.
name, no, but honestly, I did it because
She said, "You ain't gonna Dr. Cheyenne Bryant me." Okay.
no, my last name is what it is until both of us retire and I get part of that check
Okay.
with the same last name. No, no, and on real time, y'all, on real time. My sons. I've always been this type of woman. I didn't want to have to call
Hmm.
the school to call me, and I have to name two or three different last names to pick my kids up early. No, we're
Mm.
all Brown. So we're all, no, I'm Mrs.
Yeah.
Brown, and those are my son Charlie and Michael Brown. You know what I'm saying? I've always had a
Hmm.
thing about that. When they no, and in the South, now I ain't lying or why. That's
You not.
respect. When you,
You not.
when you
Cause
got
I can
Mrs.
remember plenty times. I can remember plenty times.
Mhm,
You want you and your kids to have the same last name, blah 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 blah. I remember
mhm.
coming up as a kid in Bernie, me and my sister, we would all have the same family doctor. And then we would always have that one retarded ghetto nurse that would probably went to Key Business College or Penn Forest online somewhere and got a certificate. And they would always say, "Oh, so all of your kids have the same last name. So do they have the same daddy?"
What?
When I say you, me and my sisters would be ready to tear that doctor's office up. And I remember my mama would proudly say, "Absolutely, I am married, and all of my children are from the same person. So yes, they are going to have the same last name. Are
Hmm.
you okay?" In the South, for some
Hmm.
reason, that child, I can go off
That's
and talk
big.
about that for hours.
But
Piss me
now
off
my
all over
oldest
again.
son has his father's last name because
Okay.
his father was an only child, and his
Hmm.
father's father, which is his grandfather, is an only child. And my son is the only son and the only child to his child. So I definitely made sure I kept his last name so that he can continue his lineage. Is that
Right.
me beeping?
That may be you because I don't hear nothing beeping over here.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Is that your
It
life alert
stopped. It,
beeping?
it made a bit. Go!
I thought the Medicare van was on their way to come get you.
Girl, my son already told me. He said if you fall into you
Listen.
gonna have to wait till he said you got to wait till
Wait.
Nate get here because he said you got to wait till he get here. He said because I'm not coming in there. I'm not coming in there. My
Yeah,
oldest
if you
son
fall in
said
that
I'll
tub, you
pick
have to
you.
wait.
Oldest
Oh,
son said I'll pick her up and put her right there. What are you talking about?
listen,
I'm
okay.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Things
I
you do for your
digress.
parents. No, no, no. You're fine. You
I
are
hope the
fine.
chat ain't. I hope the chat ain't cussing me out, child, because I'm
No,
just
no,
having a good old
no.
time.
Not at all. They are not. They are very engaging. MGO, yes. Not Dr. Cheyenne Brown. Honey, I am so sick of that lady. I'm sick of her. I wish she'd go away.
I
Oh, but honey,
refuse, but she won't. She won't.
she
Mm,
won't. She won't go
she
away.
won't.
And not to get off topic, the best clip I saw, I guess she was doing like a talk show, something that she was trying to promote her book. And she said, "Dr. Shine," and she threw her hand up so the lady would high five, but the lady refused to have it. She just shook her hand. I said, "Ma'am, you you
Mhm.
you're not embarrassed?"
You're not there, right? No. Mm-mm.
And then
And
I was
that's
trying to figure out why so many black women were getting upset. And then it dawned on me that a lot of the black women that were really speaking out and getting upset are those that
mhm.
actually went through this program. They actually hold these high
Yeah,
degrees in that field. So how dare you come in
make
here and
it.
you're an imposter?
And you're an imposter.
And then
You're
you
an
say that the
imposter.
school no longer has the records of the third party, but the gag is somebody that went to that school came out and said, "Oh well, I was able to get mine, and mine was from more than 2 years ago." I said, "Ooh, moving
Oh,
right
okay.
along." See, listen,
Okay.
I have been
Now
all of in that story.
that takes us to this.
Okay,
Um, you know the two now there's many forms of things, but this was something that I wanted to bring up because it all kind of ran together.
okay,
There are the people who are delusional in their identity, and
yeah,
there are folks who have like body dysmorphia, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you most times you could tell the two, you could
Yes.
tell for like someone may be small, really, really small and think they're size 10, and someone who's a size 10 may think they're size 2.
Mm-hmm.
That may be body dysmorphia. And then you have people who
And
think
that's
they have like,
actually a real thing.
oh,
I
it's
did
that's
not
it's a
know that
medical
it was
term.
a real it is. I did
Mhm.
not know it was a real thing since we're being open, honest, and frank here. I did not know that body dysmorphia actually existed until I had to go through 6 months of nutritional classes. And then I had to have a psych eval to have weight
Mhm.
loss surgery. And so when that sweet precious baby brought up that word, I said, "Honey," she said, "body dysmorphia." I said, "Ma'am, I'm not a Power Ranger. I don't know what you want me to morph into." Okay, like what do you want? I was so nervous for this. I literally the night before the psych eval, I was online. I was on YouTube googling responses that people have given their doctors to help them pass this thing, and I went in there and I started repeating everything. She said, "Yeah, you went on YouTube and looked that
Yeah,
up." I said, "Ma'am, mind
yeah.
your business, okay?"
Ain't that
And
the
then
answer you
that's
want?
exactly. And then she brought up the whole body dysmorphia and was kind of
Yeah.
explaining it. And it was at that moment in 2019 I realized
Hmm.
what that was, and I said, "So that's
It
a
don't matter
real
how
thing."
much they you cut off on your body, you gonna always think.
Always,
We
always.
we see that here a lot too.
Mhm,
People who have lost a lot of weight, and but in their eyes they still see themselves as big, so they keep
mhm.
going and keep going. And that's body dysmorphia. And then you have folks who, on the other side of delusion, like folks who just think they got a tiny waist,
I
and
knew you was gonna
you
say
know. That girl, that's pure delusion. That's pure that ain't identity crisis. That is
that.
who. Listen, that is who homegirl is.
Oh,
If
listen,
you cannot, that is not dysmorphia. That is not delusional in her world. You cannot tell her.
listen.
And I
Baby,
be
you
right
can't
along
tell her
with
she not snatched like
her.
Beyonce, honey. But you know,
Girl,
with people like that,
and
I've learned to leave them alone because the only way in my mind that that can make sense with this whole tiny waist thing, when we know it ain't tiny, honey, the Bible even says, "Such as a man thinketh, so is he." So, baby, if you think you tiny, baby,
and she had a faith
you
of a
go right with it.
mustard seed. Just a mustard
Ah,
seed faith.
That's it.
Because she
That's all
got
it
a
takes.
mustard seed tiny waist. But this me, RY. Well, from
Yes,
the back,
ma'am.
she do look like she got a tiny waist, y'all. If you look at her from the back, before her butt, it looked like she got a tiny waist. Maybe I'm just as delusional as she. She believed it. I believed it. I'm rocking with her. And she don't like me,
Listen,
but I be rocking with her every time. I be liking her food.
listen.
I be doing all that shit.
God bless you. God, baby, listen, you have a special spot in heaven just for that, okay? Just for that. But you know, even with body dysmorphia and delusions, that all still ties into identity
Yes, it does.
because that's how you identify.
How
And
you
I've
see
actually had
yourself.
exactly.
Hmm.
Let me see. There was another question. Okay. So
Okay.
when it comes to your partner, right? Talking about
Mhm.
identity, do you think it's difficult to lose your identity within your relationship with your partner? But then
Oh,
when you had this light bulb come on and then you decide to have a conversation with them and they refuse to lose their identity with you, do you take that as offensive? How would you handle that?
now, and that's my divorce story.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
though I had lost myself in him, he refused to take any responsibility of that. Far as no, it wasn't him that made me do it, but him not being there because of that. You know, I
Hold on. Hold on. MGO, baby. I read that.
what she say?
Read
I ain't
that.
got no glasses.
If okay, have you ever seen like one of Lemon's lives and he plays like this commercial where on this road is in a chair and he falls? And up and it said, if it ain't about the
Ain't about the
money, I
money.
love that.
I love that. I
I,
love it. But girl, it's when roll because the first time I
baby,
seen it, I didn't expect it. And I said, roll
baby,
killer, roll
and he picked
killer.
And he peeked around like, "Oh, what just happened?" Bro, what you mean? What just happened?
I
Listen,
was in
Diana,
the
I'm
live
not
when
gonna
it
lie.
happened.
I love that commercial too.
Oh,
Oh
oh,
God, listen,
Jesus.
MGO, that
Oh,
thing tickled me
Jesus.
when you put that in the chat. I'm sorry.
Mm.
If it ain't about the money, and then she just throwing
And
money.
I can see it every time. It's not like, remember Shaquille had that one of the Sour Patch at first, we, and then after a while,
Yes,
like, ugh. Now, if it ain't about the money, he can play that
listen,
every night. I don't
every
care.
day, and I am tickled every time I
It
see
ain't
it.
about the money.
Baby, and then at the end, bad wig. Listen, that is
Oh, oh,
your
let me
commercial.
tell you what. Let me tell you what I think, RY.
Uh-huh.
I put this together. I told you I watched this ups. I
Uh-oh.
don't know why. I don't know why. Um, Last week she
Mhm.
posted another 1,000. We only thought she was getting that 1,000 at the beginning of the month. Mm-mm.
She said she get $1,000 a
A
week.
week, and that's what I'm saying. She made a believer out of me. I think she get it. Now I'm delusional right now, but I think she get it.
Well, honey, that's
She.
identity. There
I
you go.
mean, if if it was the first of the month, and none of us got no money from the first of the month, the second of the month, or the third. So it's 2 weeks later, she's still posting money. She might get 1,000 a week.
I think she do too, honey. Can somebody give me $1,000 a week?
I need that in my life. Anybody need a green card, male or
You did.
female? Anybody need a green card? I'm married.
You
I
know,
ain't, at this
that
stage, I
I didn't
don't want
know.
no sex. No way. I just want to sit out on the porch with my rocking chair.
That's it. You ain't got to touch me. You stay over there. See, because when it comes to that green card thing, not to get off topic, but I didn't realize that it was so much with that. Like you are financially responsible for them for like 10 years or something.
Yep. That's why I
I ain't
think.
trying to do that.
Yeah, that's why I think, but I'm gonna leave that alone because that ain't none of my business. But that's what I've always thought. I was like, oh, yeah, that's the
Mm,
African. That's the
mm,
African thing. But anyway,
mm.
she, get her 1,000. Do you
Hey,
boo?
but listen, get it. I ain't mad at it. Baby,
But
get your money.
that's her identity, and it's okay.
Yes.
It's
Yep.
her identity, and it's okay.
Delusions is definitely an identity. But
Hmm.
anyway, because so having a conversation with the partner about you losing your identity, but they don't want to lose theirs. You said that was kind of like your divorce story.
Yeah, because he felt like if he gave up any of the things that he needed to
Hmm.
help me, it may look selfish, but it's really not. If you're in a relationship and you're losing yourself, they ought to be Johnny on the spot. That's some old lady words to be able to stay in there with you and fill in the gaps. He wasn't willing. He just wanted to go to work, come home, watch the Eagles play, and have fried chicken and spaghetti on Fridays, and his three sons gathering around for football. He was very diplomatic in that, and he provided very well for me and my children for 15 years, very well. But
Mm.
when it came down to it, and I said to him, you know, I don't want to do this anymore. I have nothing but me. Of course I got my sisters and all that, but when it came down to it in the midnight hour at home, it was just me. The kids, the bed, it's just me. And if he didn't want to participate in helping me find me because he don't want to lose who he is, nigga, I lost me because of you. That is, so I kind of reverse what they said. I get what they are saying. Why should they lose their identity, when you the one lost yours? Yeah, but I
Mm.
lost it in him. I lost it in him. I didn't lose my identity in the workplace. I didn't lose my
Okay.
identity. I lost it in being a wife and a mother. So yeah, you might want to help me try to get this back. And since he was
Hmm.
unwilling to help me get it back, we're no longer married.
So, okay. So with that being said, right? You're
Hmm.
a church person, so you know what I'm talking about. Um, how do you position losing or not, okay, I'll say either losing or altering your identity when in church it says, how can two walk together unless they agree? Church people think that when you agree on something, that means you're automatically submitting your will to whatever your husband says, and whatever he says goes. And then what God is joined together, let no man put asunder. Okay, cool, we get that. However, I also feel like the Bible does teach, that when you're married, you do become one flesh, and your foundational identity should always be rooted in Christ and not your
Always in
spouse.
Christ. Hmm.
So, with that
But when,
being said,
mhm.
how can you kind of differentiate between the two, or can you still somehow operate in the two without losing your mind and going
uh,
crazy?
now at this age, I am. I now I know how to do it. I should
Mhm.
always and foremost remain who I am. For instance, now this is going to be a big one.
Okay.
I don't believe in agreeing to disagree, and I don't believe in compromising. This is what it
Really?
is. No, ma'am, I don't believe in agreeing to disagree. What? How can two walk together unless they agree? It ain't no agreeing to disagree. We ain't got no
Okay.
disagreement in this marriage. We need to come to agreement. I don't care if, and there's no compromise. This is how I feel about that.
Okay.
And that's how you feel about that. I feel like I need more I'll just um affection.
Hmm.
And you feel like you need more quiet time.
Okay.
We're not disagreeing. Both of those things are right. I'm not agreeing to disagree. I don't want no disagreement in my marriage. I don't want no disagreement in my relationship. We're gonna talk it out till we walk it out. We're not doing that. Because that puts stuff under the rug if you really think about it. It doesn't, you never get that type of closure on things like that. And then disagreement comes down the line because y'all agree to disagree. Now y'all
Hmm.
just now you're disagreeing again in 6 months. No,
So,
we're
so
gonna
if you
come
don't
to
agree to
agreement.
disagree, so if you don't agree to disagree and you do not compromise with that example that you just gave, how does one move forward with that?
Oh, very easy. Um, I'm still gonna that's all about identity. Why do I have to believe what he believes just to be in agreement of disagreeing? No, I will lose myself if I don't. Good example. If I don't believe in, no, I can't use that one. That one's. If I don't believe in the penalty of taking life, and you believe in the penalty, that ain't gonna break our marriage up. That ain't gonna. But at times it will come up. So if we're agreeing to disagree, we're going to be in a disagreement every time that subject come up. Every movie we watch where somebody disagrees, it's going to come up. But if we come into agreement, look, this is how I feel. Don't try to change my mind. That's wrong. This is
Hmm,
who I am.
okay.
This is how I feel. If that's how you feel, okay. And this is exactly how I approach my family about me being gay. Because they act like they ain't never seen a gay person in the world.
Okay.
I'm gay and you don't like it. Okay. We're
Right.
not agreeing to disagree because I'm not arguing with you with what I
Right.
do. I'm gay. I agree with me, and you don't like it. You agree with you. To the loo.
Hmm.
Um,
Now, this comment that I have up on the screen, when I
mhm,
read this, it kind of halted me, and I just want
mhm,
your take on it.
mhm,
Kimberly Black said, "Your husband is not Christ, right?" But I want to say over about Ephesians 5, somewhere about 24, 25, it literally says that husbands should love their wives just as Christ has loved the church
love the
and gave
church.
himself up for her. So, with that being said, right, how do
Mhm.
you view this comment? Your husband is not Christ because he isn't.
And but you know how I come. It's about um, humility. It's
Hmm.
about and I'm gonna say the word that everybody hates: submission.
Okay.
There's levels to submission, you guys. There's levels
Yes.
to submission. We
Yes.
talk about in a marriage. We talk about in a solid relationship.
Hmm.
There's things that yeah you'll do, but that it doesn't go outside of your realm. It's not something you don't like. It's not something that you feel is awful or you both don't agree on it. And when things like that happen, That's why you have to have 100 and 100 and not 50-50, because every time somebody gonna come up short. But if I'm giving you my 100 and you giving me your 100, a lot of those problems don't come in. And if my 100, and you know this from tithing, if my 100 only is $10 and your 100 is $100, it's still the full amount. It's still 100.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't believe in 50-50. Don't do that. And don't be nobody's better half or other half either. I'm whole.
Oh, okay. Whole.
I'm
Okay.
whole now.
And
Did
now, hmm. So
I
someone
answer
said,
that?
no, no, no,
Because
you
did I
really
answer
did.
that?
No, you really
Okay.
did. You did. You did. Now somebody
Okay.
says it's the same thing with submission. The Bible does. The Bible says, yeah, the Bible says the same thing about submission, and it does. See, this is what. Okay, I'm from Texas,
Let me put
right?
my glasses on. Let me
All right,
see.
boom. I'm from
Okay.
Texas, and I grew up. Me and my sisters, we are all products of marriage. I've never seen my mother argue with my father. I've never seen my father disrespect my mother. Now, my mama has had to check my daddy a time or two, but it was behind closed doors, right?
Right.
So then, if we're going to go into, so she's always been the submissive type, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Bible does say to submit yourselves to your husband,
Mm-hmm.
but
Does
I
it say your
also
husband
feel
or
like
unto each other? Does it
unto
say
each
your husband?
other, unto,
Okay.
however, but unto each other. So whether you're married to a woman or whether you're married to a man, submit yourself to your spouse. Do
Yes.
you think that there is a very fine line between submitting
Mm-hmm.
and taking on their identity for the sake of the marriage, relationship, your situationship, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm. Now
all in the name of submitting? Go ahead,
I'm
baby.
gonna say something that's gonna rock y'all's world.
Uh oh.
Um, there's seasons in life, and I already told you I loved being a wife, which meant at the time I loved the submission. I loved so because I come from a background of abandonment and not feeling safe and secure. I had somebody that could take care of you legally, that could. So
Mm-hmm.
I felt safe. I felt secure. I felt those things, but it didn't. Oh God, I'm saying so much right here.
Just, baby, just talk. This is a free space,
It
honey.
didn't. I enjoy being submissive. The problem was
Okay.
my fault that I let my identity get lost. That was my fault. That,
Mm.
yeah, but I enjoy some people don't enjoy submission, and that's okay for your marriage
Right.
too. Submission comes in so many different forms and ways. For
It
me,
does.
submission was I stayed at home. Um, I took care of the kids. I got nice cars and pretty houses and all of those
Mm-hmm.
things. But submission didn't mean you could do nothing to my booty. Uh-uh.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? No, so
oh,
just yeah,
that's where we at now. All right, let's go.
and that's the thing. Isn't that what most people who take advantage of women in that nature who are in the church? Now, can I
Mm,
drop another dime on you?
you sure can.
All right, I know y'all said I had to, she telling all these stories. It can't be true. Yes, it is. So, um, I found my ordination papers the other day from my bishop of Philly
Oh,
who ordained me as a pastor, right?
okay.
And it brought up so much because I'm writing, and
Hmm.
one of my books is about the church,
Oh,
and I I I, I am a licensed counselor for domestic violence in the state of Pennsylvania. I'm still licensed. And then
oh,
you know how
wow.
pastoral care goes.
Mm-hmm.
So but when I was trained, it took us 18 months. When no, I was told to never counsel the one that was battered. Always counsel the batterer. You always counsel the aggressive person because I had too much tact to deal with the woman because I would have been straight on her side and tried to kill the man. So what I had to do, I only because of my status in the church, I only ministered to the leadership. That means other
Mm.
deacons, other
Yep.
ministers, my bishop, pastors, uh, coming in pastors, leaving out pastors. I have
Mm-hmm.
seen. where a deacon put an iron on his wife's back, and she's sitting in church Sunday morning.
Baby, let me tell you
So
something. Mm-mm,
you know that's submission, right? In some
mm-mm,
cases.
mm-mm. Let me tell you something. I would have been sitting in jail, and he would have been sitting on somebody's cooling board. I would,
Yeah.
I would have said, "Sir, this is not good times. I am not
Mm.
that little girl.
Hey,
I'm
Penny.
Janet. I ain't paying it. No, no, no. That's what we ain't gonna do. You want to put that iron on somebody? You better go iron this preacher robe or something.
Yep.
What?
But you know, I had become so accustomed when you're a pastor's pastor, to hearing the pastors cuss, smoke, drink, you know, and all of those things, because it was just second nature to them. And for me, um I was appalled. I was
Hmm.
appalled. So when them men would come in my office, because you got set down, you got to go to counseling, you got to come to me. Girl, I hit them with every scripture in the book. What you doing to your wife? Oh, I mean, oh, child. hmm I would hit them with everything
Wow.
in the book. Yeah, I could never counsel the women though. I just didn't have enough empathy at the time. All
Okay.
I wanted was I wanted Deacon to be hurt, not physically, but because why?
Yeah, I get it. Definitely get that.
Submission, and that's all in the name of submission. That
That
was.
is woo.
Yep.
Now, Kimberly Black, I am really, really enjoying
Well,
your commentary in this chat.
let me get my
Kimberly Black
glasses.
said, Kimberly Black said, you can be submissive to one another and still have individuality, goals, admiration, and dreams. Now, that kind of
Hmm.
leads me into the second topic, independence
Hmm.
within a relationship. Okay. Now, I would like to think I'm a pretty intelligent and smart individual. But you know how like coming up in school you had like the PBS show that would kind of teach you how to spell words so you can remember the way I
Conjunction
remembered how.
junction was
Yes.
your
But
function.
for me, I don't even know who this rapper is, and every time I hear it, I just get so tickled. Anybody in the chat, who is the rapper that said INDEPENDECE, do you know?
Boosie.
That's how I Boosie.
That's
That's how
Boosie.
I remember.
That's Boosie.
I remembered how to spell
How to
how to
spell
spell that word.
independent. I done done that
Just
many times. Yeah.
just
Thank
like
chocolate too.
Mississippi.
CHO
Just like
COLA chocolate. That's how I know how to spell chocolate.
exactly. Exactly. Just like Mississippi. I have to credit that to good times
Crooked
when they
letter,
said I, crooked letter I,
crooked
crooked
letter I,
letter I,
crooked letter, crooked
crooked letter I,
humpback,
humpback,
humpback.
humpback, humpback. That's how I remember how to spell independence because all them E's and N's, I just be like, hold on, wait a minute. And Mississippi, that was another one that used to get me for the longest. Boosie. Somebody said with his staying high ass. So with Kimberly
For
Black's
sure.
submissive to one another and still have
Mhm.
individuality, goals, admiration, and dreams. So how can one keep their identity, be submissive, but still be independent within their situationship, whether it's marriage, dating, whatever the case may be?
That's a great question too, because I felt it twice. So you asking the right person, baby. Okay, I told y'all I knew I felt that question. Why is Kimberly Black? So I got an answer. I won't tell it again.
Okay, thank you. Uh-uh.
You should have a okay, but when it's like, you know what? It's like when, how do you keep all of those things outside of your marriage? In certain seasons, like I said, within a relationship, how do you be independent? Now
Hmm.
I know you still connect with all of the things you loved before you married that person, before
Okay.
you, or all of the things you found out that you like independently of that person, and you make sure you maintain that. It
Mm.
don't even have to cost you money. Just make sure you maintain, like I said, I love walking in the woods. I maintain that. I went to flower shows. I did, I mean, by myself, no kids, no husband. And that's part of my identity. I love flower shows and I'm allergic to them. But you put me near a flower show, I'm in there. But
What?
that's something, yeah, that's something I like to do. That's my part of my identity. That's my eggs need to be this way, and maybe I'll change it up next week. So what? Change my mind. That's part of my identity, and you keep the things you want in front of you. I failed that married to my second husband because, and I'm not saying I was wrong. I'm just telling
Mhm.
y'all I did it. I was engulfed with my kids, engulfed with being, PTA mom, and I loved that era of my life. I loved it, but I did lose myself. hmm
Mm.
So now, like I said, I keep it 100. I'd be overstimulated. Okay. Now I speak up. I'm overstimulated. I need to still, now I speak up. I don't go behind the doors and say, gosh, I wish I was, could have a little time to myself. No, now I say I'm overstimulated. That's me. That's my identity.
Mhm.
So that's
Okay.
how within a relationship, it, there can, the number one thing, and this will cover, some people say, what's the most important thing in a relationship? Identity, no disrespect, cheating. The number one thing you cannot lose is your own way. The, you
Mm.
know, it,
Okay.
don't and that's just what Kimberly is saying. You got
Yes.
if you know you wanted to go to school before, you got to make that happen for yourself, or you're going to be disgruntled. You're going to be, you're going to feel a certain type of way, and it's not going to work out. Your marriage is not going to be satisfying. And when you're in a relationship and you do all the things that the other person wants you to do, and you never consider yourself, you're doing yourself a disservice anyway. Because even though I loved being that person, I lost my identity and I did myself a disservice. I did them a
Mm.
good service.
Okay. Now, I
No.
I frequent every now and again. I will go over and I would kind of frequent these YouTube channels, and I want to say this concept comes from, I want to say, the Manosphere.
hmm
I may be wrong, or it may be red pill, blue pill, whatever color pill, but they say, that they don't like the type of woman that says, "I'm a strong, independent woman. I don't need a man." Right?
hmm
Can I definitely I disagree with that stance. You know what I'm saying? Because hey, yeah, I can't see a man wanting a woman that isn't strong, independent, and that's why that whole sector makes my ass itch. Okay, because I think they just repeat
Now
shit
that
that they hear
goes.
Kevin Samuel says, but that's neither here nor there. So do you think that being independent within a relationship does more damage than it can good? And I say
Oh,
that because
absolutely.
you have some women that are just like, I don't need no nigga to do nothing for me,
That's crazy.
but you got
That's
somebody.
that's
So
crazy.
then, I
And
to me,
that-
I know
uh,
women that are like that, and it is weird to me.
that's crazy. Even when I had the most money, that is so absurd. God didn't create any of us to be alone, male or female. So to think that you don't need this person, you might not want them, but we're set up. All of the tendons in our hands and our feet are
Hmm.
designed to touch others. So that, yeah, I could do it by myself, but why should I?
Right.
I could do it. Why should I though? Like that's what, if you coming from, I could do it by myself, and you just bitter. That's not identity. That's bitter. That's what your identity is. Now, if I say I could do it by myself, but I don't want to, I'm just telling y'all that's part of my DNA. I don't want to work. I want to raise my kids. So you can't say, well, you can. You can say, I don't need no help. I don't need no man. I don't need no woman. All of that. Well, then you go against the very edifice or purpose of your design, and we are designed and created for one another. Man cannot live by himself alone. So
Not
God
at all.
created him a help or a helpmate
Uh,
or a mate or a help.
he took
So
he took that rib out of Adam and made Eve.
we're not designed to live alone. We just aren't. And you're monogamous. I believe in that, but I do certainly believe that we should always have enrichment in our lives. Now the key is when you build those boundaries that you need to keep your own identity. R and Y.
Hmm.
I'm listen. You build those boundaries. You say, now I'm not talking about you and your man, but just you say, hey, look. I don't care what you saying. I'm just paraphrasing. I ain't going live at 10. I need to be in bed early.
Hmm.
Boundary. You know, I'm not. So therefore, the boundary is, I don't go live after 10, so don't set it up like that. That's how you keep your own identity. That's how you do it. And in a relationship, what you do over here is totally different. That is so great. I love that. I love
Thank
that.
you.
Now, I will say one thing. I wish you
Uh-oh.
would hold your power and energy for your own show on Sundays. Mhm.
I knew you were gonna say that.
You knew I was. I
Uh-huh.
wish you. I wish you hold your power, your energy for your own show. If you look at all of these couples, these TikTokers, you always find, especially when it's women, together they
Mhm.
have those shows. But if oh, what's my girl name? Christy and Damon. You know them. They're getting a divorce. Y'all know Christy. Christy's like,
What?
yeah, Chris. They're getting a divorce, and if you look at it, he lost his identity. Girl, I watch him on his own channel. He be cooking and smiling, but guess what? Christy was sitting in that big marble house, and I thank God she did this little short. She said, "What do I do now?"
Wow.
Because she lost herself in her kids, in Damon, in the house, building the house. She lost herself. That house don't look like neither one of them. That house, her identity is not in that house. That house is sterile as shit. But
Wow. That's
that's how you
crazy.
keep your own. You set those boundaries and you say, hey, this is what I'm going to do, and this is what I'm going to need to happen for me to be a good wife, a good partner, a good mother. These are
Mhm.
things that we need to come in agreement to. We're not going to agree to disagree. I need this for
Mm.
me. And that's a boundary. I need to reserve my energy. I need to
Mhm.
not be discombobulated before, because I want to give the people something great. And I don't want to be discombobulated before I come up here because, you shouldn't have had to answer no question was for me about was I going to be ready because I was going to hit the link.
I knew when he called, but that literally I was in the kitchen. I was trying to hurry up and make my batch of frog balls that I like to make every week. And so I heard him. He just like, oh, well,
Hmm.
I'm getting ready to drop this link. I got a question for you. I want to
First,
ask
I
da,
was
da, da. I
mad.
was like, oh God. And I
Hmm.
was thinking about, should I? Then I said, hold on. Just let me do it right quick. And it's like as soon as I hit the link, next thing I know, here you come. I said, all right, I'm going by.
Girl, all I was waiting on was you to say, "Well, why would I do that?" I said, "Oh, I'm coming up." Because if you would have said, "Well, maybe we need to I would have literally did that just because I'm so happy for your show. It's like I remember that time me and you drugged ZX, and I never forget it. We drug him with the word on. I think it was Nest Panel. Girl, we drug
Oh,
him
what
with
was
the
it?
word. We was tag
Yes.
teaming.
Yeah, yeah, I
Oh,
remember
God.
that.
I think he was talking about the man, a woman's covering as a man or something
Yeah.
crazy. Girl, we tagged
Yee.
him with that. And ever since then, I said, "Oh, when R and Y start her stuff, she's gonna do what I failed to do. She's gonna do what I failed to do, which was stay my own identity in course. When I
Hmm.
got here, I was on what was I on? I was on getting your vitamin D, ladies. I was on
Yes.
keeping ourselves fulfilled. I was on being an empath. I was on that real spiritual journey. And then
Hmm.
along the way, I lost my identity into the B sector. Ain't nobody else
Mm.
gonna tell you this story, but I'll tell you. You know, that's why I look at Ghetto the way he is. I can't wait to talk about him on tomorrow. Oh, he
You
can't
said
come in
ghetto?
here. Yeah,
Oh
he can't come in
God.
here. But that you he's gonna. I want to talk to him lovingly.
Hmm.
He is a big. He has a big personality. He's a
Yeah.
big. He's just every time I see Ghetto, big tie, big truck. He's big, but he's going
Hmm.
into that's his personality. But he's
Hmm.
going into a household where he may have to shrink because you can't act a fool like that with in that woman house with them
You
kids.
can't. Okay.
You can't. So that's not losing himself. That's balance and boundaries that she should have for him. You're gonna chill out. That's why I can't wait to talk to him tomorrow. I hope he hit the link because I'm going to tell him. Let me tell you something, sir. Don't go in that woman's house with all this foolishness now.
Yeah,
Now
don't
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 go
do
in
that. Don't do
because
that.
because I don't see her losing her identity in him.
No,
Mm-mm. I
no,
don't see
not at
that.
all. Not
And the
at
fact that
all.
he moved there speaks volumes to me. She's like, baby, we over
Okay.
here. We over here. Come on. Now,
Listen.
I applaud Ghetto for doing that because he's a man. He's single. He don't have no kids,
Right.
no young kids. He can go. But he was saying, "Yay, I survived the first night of being there, baby. I'm looking for day 10."
Okay. Because it was real cute when he cut that camera on and you saw the eggs and that breakfast. I said, oh, okay. Well,
And
let's see if
orange
that
juice.
happens later on down the line. See, because one thing I've learned and one thing I've noticed, and my mama, my aunts, my grandmamas, everybody always said this to me. How you start
It's
is
how
how
you
he would
finish.
expect for you to continue. And the moment you stop,
How you start
you
is how
become the
you
problem.
finish. Yep. How you
And
start. If you're going
MGO,
to start off doing all of that,
okay,
you better
you
keep it
better keep
up.
it up. You better keep it up.
When I go
MGO,
into
and
a
it's interesting.
relationship,
MGO put this comment up here:
uh-huh.
interdependence is natural and healthy. I really
Mm,
wish y'all stay out of my like y'all are all up and through my notes today because I wrote down interdependence versus independence. Like
yeah.
I I love this little community over here, honey. Y'all are all in my notes
Yeah,
today.
I had a friend tell me once. I had a friend tell me once, and I've held this for many years
Hmm.
from YouTube that said to me, God always does a download. So what that means is he'll give you the vision, he'll give me the vision, he'll give MGO the vision, he'll give Just Blaze the vision. I can't see the chat. He need to give me vision, but all of us ain't gonna run. All of us ain't gonna run with the vision. So he has to drop it on enough people that at least one of us got to run with the vision. So all
Not
that's
only run
happening
with the
is
vision, not only run with the vision, but if we gonna keep it biblical, write the vision and
and
make it
make it
plain.
plain and make it plain so they that come can follow it.
Huh? Oh, come on in
So
here.
okay. So all of these people are in the chat. We're all like-minded and we're repeating each other.
Yes.
Me and Just Blaze was over there. I don't know what was that YTC's today? And
Oh, just blaze
line
is.
upon
I love
line
me some just blaze. Okay.
line upon line, Jay Dunn
Precept
says
upon
something about
precept.
this, and this, that.
Yep.
And line me, she said it. I said it wasn't seconds. Follow the money. We both said
Uh-huh.
follow the money. So yeah, I love this place. I am so happy for you. Keep
Thank
your
you.
boundaries for your
Yes,
relationship.
ma'am.
Keep it out of, you know, and sometimes you have to tell Envy, no, I need to, I can't come up there right now because now I'm gonna be a little fidgety because you got me worried about that. And I ain't think about that, And it's only what he does. He loves you. He loves your support. He like, let me give a baby RY to come up here and do this. No, I got a show in 30
No, because he did text me today. He texted me that. He said, "Hey, here's the link for today's
minutes.
show."
Hmm.
And I looked at it. I had to look at my calendar because I'm just like, I know I'm not crazy. I know, I ain't stuffed up in this Spanx for no reason. So I had to look at the calendar. I said, "Oh, I thought today was a solo show because I have girls on there." He said, "Oh yeah, okay,
Oh yeah.
yeah, uh huh."
Now, for him, and he wouldn't have thought twice about it. He just loves having you by there. By him, he loves bouncing stuff up on you, off of you. But then you'll do that for him, and then the next thing you know, your Wednesday's not coming no more. Your Sundays is
Yeah.
every other Sunday. And no, you must do this. This is part of who you are and your identity. it pops out who your personality, the quote in the scripture and the still get you told. This is it for you. Just keep it separate, so to
Oh,
speak.
absolutely.
Now, I don't believe in
Absolutely.
separate bank accounts, but I do believe in separate social life. Hmm.
You don't
Hmm.
believe in separate bank accounts at all?
No, ma'am, 100%. What's mine, what I put in that bank is both of ours because I'm giving 100% of this relationship. I'm giving 100% of my money. We both paying them bills. We don't even know whose money is in there at this point because the checks go in automatically. We're not concerned about how they get in the pot. We're concerned about how they go out the window. Did the
Right.
bills get paid? So I've never had a problem sharing a bank account with a spouse. A
Mm.
spouse. Cause you and
Okay.
Envy, y'all fast. Y'all growing like y'all lesbians. Y'all got the U-Haul and
Ah!
everything.
Oh, how did ain't that what they call them? U-Haul
U-Haul
lesbians,
lesbians.
baby.
That's ghetto. Oh, I'm gonna use that one tomorrow for ghetto. Ghetto, you are U-Haul lesbian.
That's funny. That is funny.
Hmm.
Oh, so let me ask you
Yeah,
this.
I love this. Hmm.
I love this space too, right? So let me ask you
Hmm.
this. Was it difficult when you, and I hate the word transition because it has like a negative connotation attached to it,
Hmm.
because it means you're dying. But so
Hmm.
for the sake of this conversation, that's the only thing I can really think of. Did you find it difficult to transition from being the wife of a husband to the wife of a woman? And was there anything about your identity between the two that kind of shifted?
Um, Big difference between male and female because you're always gonna have different chemistry when you got two emotional women that sync up and all of that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Um, but for me, it it didn't make a difference if it was a male or a female. I When I came out, it wasn't hard. You know why? Because I didn't make it hard. So I didn't really transition. I honestly,
Hmm.
this is this is me all the time. This.
Hmm.
So I'm one of those people who are fortunate. I can be a lesbian and nobody know it. I can still work my job and not get fired because this is me, a baseball cap with some pearls on. So
Yeah.
that's my identity. So no, it was not hard to transition, so to speak. As a matter of fact, I told my whole family at one time during Thanksgiving, let me get this out here. Gather around one and all. Kids go in the other room. This is my girlfriend. I am
Hmm.
very much gay. And I told all of my sisters, my brother and their husbands and wife at one
Hmm.
time. I said, because I'm not repeating this story. So my sister
Right.
says, is it because you got a divorce or because you were sexually what? Give me a little bit more credit for than that. You think I would choose a certain sexuality based on another person? Give me a little
Mm.
bit more credit for than that. If you think this ain't mine alone, if you think a gay guy don't, you think we want to be gay? We're ostracized. I could have lost my
See.
kids for being gay. No, but when I say what I am, and I
Hmm.
told them my identity, I said, go look back. I've always been this way. I just did what the church told me to do: get married and have children in that order. Both of my
Mm.
husbands, I got married and had children in that order. But when I came out, I'm not going to hide. I'm not going to make myself small or dim my light no more. And for 5 years, most of my family didn't speak to me. I got letters telling me I was going to hell, and I got
Oh
wrote out of
Lord.
I, I got wrote out of a will. And you know what I said? Long as I'm being who I am, I don't care.
Yeah.
So it wasn't hard. For a lot of people, it is extremely hard. But you got to remember too, I was 40. What you gonna tell me? I'm 38 years old. What you gonna tell me? So I tell
Mm.
y'all, I'm finally living the life I want to live. The first time I loved a woman, I was 7. I'm finally, I've always been, had that. uh, uh, not masculine because I'm always feminine, but a
Hmm.
tomboy look. So I didn't have to change anything. I didn't have to change how I looked. I didn't have to change my clothes. I didn't have to change now all it was is now you in my business about who I sleep with because other than that, you wouldn't know.
Hmm.
So I told them that. I am the same person I was 20 minutes ago.
Hmm.
Now I said, and now y'all trying to get in my business about who I sleep with. That ain't none of your business.
Mind your business. Hold on, real quick.
Mind your business. A lot of people ain't gonna agree with me, but I'd rather flip over the table and tell y'all who I am and get your asses out the temple than watch y'all
Okay.
play with the money changes. Okay. Mm-mm.
Listen. So, when you was talking about how, you told all of your family during the Thanksgiving dinner, you know what that reminded
Mhm.
me of right when you said it? What's that movie?
Um, uh, uh,
Dirty
uh,
Laundry.
my,
She
oh
said,
no, no, no,
"This is my son
girl,
Patrick, and he is one of the gays."
girl, you know what it remind me of? I'm old.
What?
I'm old. You know, soul food.
Oh Lord, yeah. Oh, I didn't even think about that one.
now, wasn't
Oh,
nobody, now wasn't nobody sleeping with cousin Faith, but girl, it was like
okay.
soul food. Can you believe she said that? The older people saying, so was she? She one of them funny people? She a lesbian? You know, they over
Not
there in the corner. And I'm
Presbyterian.
like, yes, I can hear your old ass. Yes, I am a lesbian.
So when
Ooh,
you
God
talk to
don't like
family,
that.
oh, God, that's the first thing they say, and I just be like, oh,
And
okay,
I
well,
said,
whatever.
God don't like that. I said, God don't
Okay,
like that.
because
Oh,
the
you want to
Bible
tell me? I'm
does say
sorry.
to love everybody.
Mm. They
So
forget
when,
Jesus
oh
never,
God,
ever, ever, ever mentioned homosexuality. And if you're living under the curse of the law, the canon, the first five books, and that spoke to a particular people in a particular place because they was getting all sick booty doing. That has nothing
uh-oh.
to do, okay? And if you want to live it by that, let's think about this. So did Jesus come to cancel the law or did he come to fulfill it? Because if he came to fulfill it, that's null and void anyway.
See what I'm saying?
You
And my
don't
and
hear
my
nobody go
stance
around.
on,
You
go
don't
ahead.
hear nobody go around here and talk about I walk with Moses. No, they say they walk with Christ. Well, then if you walk with Christ, what you doing back there in that old book, messing with Nick?
See, mm, that's hold on real
Okay,
quick. And
I'm sorry.
no, 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 you are fine, baby. You are fine. I promise you.
I
One
hope I'm not talking
second.
too much.
Absolutely not. You're not. I promise
Okay,
you.
okay, okay.
Um, so you are right. Jesus never specifically or explicitly mentioned homosexuality. So you're absolutely correct about that, right? Um,
Hmm.
but when you came out, I'm assuming that you had some family members that just embraced you regardless because you are still family. Or did
Not
everybody
one.
just be like, not one?
I come from 7 generations of marriage. I come from
Ah,
every.
okay.
Yeah, I come from. I'm seventh generation marriage. All of my sisters, except one, now are
Hmm.
married. Been married 40, 50 years. All of yeah. We I come from a long line of marriage. So, uh, what? Oh my God. Oh, I just had a little flashback. Oh, child. Ooh,
See, Corey, your lover said you are not talking too much. It's very enjoyable.
okay.
See?
So for me, there was
Hmm.
they I was done. I did
Yeah.
not speak. I have one sister that the one right above me, of course,
Hmm.
she it took her about 3 years. And she said, listen, I understand you're with women now. I just don't want to hear
Hmm.
about it. I said, I don't want to hear about what you're doing in the bedroom either. Girl, I ain't never asked you how you put it down with your husband. What you want to I'm
Okay.
not gonna tell you none of that. And that was her only concern is I didn't try to tell her how we do in the bedroom. I said, why
Yeah.
would I do that? I don't talk like
Hey,
that.
Rodney, baby. I didn't even see
So
you in here.
we
Go
and
ahead. I'm
then I have
sorry.
another sister.
Uh huh.
After a couple years, I was disinvited to a wedding. Hmm.
Oh.
My sister said, this my sister in Jersey too. You know, they wild over there, ghetto and all. She said, uh, you will be at that wedding and you can stay at my house, you and your girlfriend. And I hadn't talked to her in 5 years. And that's how she
Mm.
told me, yeah. I mean, come on, you know they ain't let no gays stay under their roof. Come on
Okay.
now.
Not at all.
You know, and sleep in the same room. Ah!
Okay.
But
Not at all.
now, now we're all great. And do y'all know why?
Why? You checked them?
Two of my nieces and one of my nephews is gay. Oh, so
Oh,
y'all,
what in the what?
so y'all gave birth to the very thing you hated.
Okay, so listening to that, what it sounds
And
like
it
to
ain't because
me
of
is
Aunt Shelley. And listen, it can't be because of
Mhm.
Aunt Shelley. You know why it can't be? Because they weren't
Why?
around me for 5 years.
Hmm.
So I didn't do it.
So with that being said, what it sounds like to me is when I'm assuming you were the first one to come out and tell them this. So it
Yes.
sounds like with you being the first, they didn't know how to take it, and that was just like their defense mechanism. This ain't what we're used to, so forth and so forth. So now you have these other two people that are now coming out later down the line, and that now that is, the way of the world now. People are more out and open
Hmm.
about their sexual preferences, their orientation, and things of that nature. So it's a lot easier to now accept because we've already been through this phase once.
Right.
So
Right.
now, and we
Now,
saw how we treated them. So let's not
and
carry that
it's
same thing.
enlightenment.
Yes.
And if you are becoming enlightened and growing, then
Hmm.
you're stagnant, you're stuck. But
Yes.
all of them at now we're all, when I say we're all okay, we still have our sisters, fighting and all of
Yeah.
that. They truly do understand who I am because I presented my identity to them.
Hmm.
So I don't have a problem from them anymore. But when I did, I always stood my ground. I ain't gonna come here Thanksgiving anyway.
Right. And I think that too, a
It's
lot of
macaroni
times,
tonight.
right. And if we're talking about identity, I feel like a lot of the times, who or what you prefer to date, that's not your identity. That's a preference.
It's not. It's
It's a
not.
preference.
It's a preference.
A
But I will
preference isn't
say
attached
this,
to a social security number. A preference isn't attached to a personality.
and I will say this, and I don't care
Hmm.
who don't like it. I have you. For me, I have never loved until I loved a woman.
Really?
Well,
How?
I love. No, I'm. That's a lie. I love my first husband, my first love, and because he was tragically taken away, I've always held that love for him.
Oh.
It's a different level of understanding, unspoken words, a certain kind of peace and understanding that we both have had these, issues, and we've come over them, and it's a different type of I don't give a fuck. It's just it's different, and when it's coming from a nurturing place, when it's
Hmm.
coming from a place that you're safe and you know you're safe, whether it's a woman or a man, when you feel safe, there it ain't nothing else you need. You feel safe. You know,
Bingo.
you feel safe. And I've
Safe.
never felt as safe as I have felt with a woman. I know y'all don't like that, but I have never felt that kind of kinetic energy except with
Hmm.
a woman. And I'm not talking about sex. I'm talking
Right.
about, sapiotic love. I'm talking about the love of
Hmm.
words and the love, I'm talking about yeah, that. But
Okay.
yeah, I know. I could never see myself with a man again. Mm-mm.
Really?
Mm-mm. And it don't have nothing to do with the sex. It has everything to do with the connection. Oh my God, I want to be adored, and men don't adore the way women adore. We adore flowers, we adore, and we adore. I want to be adored. I want to feel like I'm connected to someone, not lose
Hmm.
myself. But she brought home vanilla ice cream because she know I love vanilla ice cream, and it's Friday. Men
Oh.
don't do that. Different stuff like that. That's why I love women. I love the shape of them, big or small. I tell people nowadays, this is how much I'm
What?
into my own identity, y'all. I may be fat today. I could be skinny next month, or I could be fluffy next year.
Mhm.
Whatever I am going to be in my size and my this is me. And you either going to love
Yeah.
all of this or I'm not changing. Like I'm
Right.
not forcing myself to, and I used to do that, especially when I first started dating women. Women are real. Oh, you think, oh, girl, they
Yes.
look at you in the club. Girl, they look at you in the
Women
club
are
like, oh.
so judgmental.
So after I got over all of that, I don't care because some women will make you feel like puppy, but they also will love you to life. I swear. And like I said, I know a lot of people don't like this kind of talk, but I'm just here talking about my identity and how I'm much happier, much happier.
Okay.
And none of my mental illness stems from my sexuality. I've been mentally ill since I was 14. So
Oh, wow.
I had, yeah, and when I say that, I mean, PTSD, childhood PTSD, childhood, abuse and things like that. So,
Mhm. So so in the okay, so with that being said, right? How do you balance being independent in a relationship with your wife? I'm assuming you're married or your girlfriend or whatever. How do you
mhm.
balance being independent with her? And I'm asking that because I looked at your channel and it was one point in time you were doing stories about like or content about studs or something like that.
Yeah,
And from what I gathered, studs are typically the more masculine out of the
yeah,
bunch, right?
right.
So how do you, with you being a woman, and I don't care what you say, listening to you talk, you give me soft girl, like, oh my God,
I am.
You see what I'm saying? So how do you balance being this soft girl, having all of this independence and identity awareness with someone with the same gender that you're dating?
Well, I will
Hey,
say two
Leslie.
things. I
Uh-huh.
will say two things. One way is I make it happen. You got to dedicate that time to yourself, that place to yourself. Like this place is for us. You got to
Hmm.
keep those certain boundaries. And I will say this too. Um, oh, I just said a lot today. Uh,
No, you're fine.
sometimes,
I am enjoying what you're saying. I really am.
but with women, you got to find the right one. With a man too, somebody that's going to pour into you and not want you to lose your identity. That's why I
Hmm.
said, if my ex-husband had even came just a little way to help me get back to who I was, we could, I could have did 5 more years, but he wouldn't budge. But with women, we tend to be a lot more flexible. We tend to, try to deal with each other not in agreement. It don't.
Okay.
That's why you got to make sure you like the person you with, because one day you ain't gonna really feel like loving them. And the balance comes because it's okay. That's okay too. The balance
Hmm.
comes when you completely honest about where you are. That's balance. Because remember, we not doing. Is that me? Hold on, y'all.
No, you
Oh,
good.
no, that was my grandkids. You remember, we're not giving 50-50, so we don't need to weigh out the balance.
Right.
No, we're giving 100 and 100. That's it.
Hmm.
We're not the balance comes when you make sure you do everything you need to do to self-identify who you are. To if
Yes.
this is what you this is you. This is you over here. This is you. Stay
Hmm.
over there with that. This Sunday, this me. That's how you
Yeah.
you keep yourself, and the balance is there. You look over there and help him out, but the balance is keeping your head above water. No, the
Hey,
balance is
making a way when you can. Okay.
that's the balance. The balance is making sure that you don't stop doing nothing you was doing beforehand. Now, if
Yeah.
you decide it's not a pastime anymore and it's time to move on, that's different.
Hmm.
But when you start making decisions based on what looks and feels better to somebody else, there's no balance. That's not
Hmm.
100, 100. No, that's actually you subtracting me to 75, and I'm really 100. I'm not gonna lose myself. Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Interesting. Okay. So
It's hard.
is your girlfriend or the person you're dating now, is she the most independent one? Like, is she just like, it's my way, this is how I do things. Hey, if I need you, I need you. If I don't, I don't.
Listen, well, first, I'm not dating anyone now. I've been celibate for 6 years. And
What?
second, yeah, uh-huh. That's why I was surprised somebody called me a 804 or whatever that is. I was like,
Oh, three
why?
or four. Oh, child.
I ain't even getting none. I was mad. But when you get the right woman or the right male,
Uh-huh.
listen, they gonna make sure you balance because they know if
Oh,
you
yeah.
balance, they balance. But if you in a relationship with somebody don't care and they constantly a take, then you never found balance in that anyway. So my objective is to find someone who knows how to take care of me as an individual, not you know family, friends, not me, not kids, none of that. Me, what makes me tick? And I'm going to do the same because it's 100, 100. And you're not going to make the balances tip too low because if you ain't got it, I got it. If I ain't got it, you got it. So, but we maintain ourselves because she's going to be or he's going to be, hey, didn't you like to go to Taco Tuesdays out there and they got La Maritas? Why don't you and the
Mm-hmm.
girls go out? That's how he's going to keep the balance and help you maintain who you are, you know.
Hmm.
And at the same time, you take advantage of those moments and say, yes, I do like that. Tuesday night, I'm going to go over there. So that's how you do it. You don't just become engulfed with what they want, their show, their pastime, their family, their friends. You help and lend a hand where you can, but you don't let it, like I'm a helper. I'm a giver. So if you tell me, oh, Emperor, I'm having a problem with this, I'm gonna try to find a whole solution to that joint. I'm gonna try to figure it out, find a whole solution. And that should not be the way of two. Mm-mm.
Mm.
I shouldn't be trying to find all the solution and I shouldn't be the savior for the family. Balance is, you know that person respects you enough to make sure you keep up who you are. Not for nothing, my ex-wife, that's why she was great at when I was having mental issues, because not for nothing, woman to woman, she gonna make sure I'm okay. And whether you in a male female relationship or not, in order to be balanced, it's going to take the two of you. And in order for one not to slip, the other one sometimes going to have to suggest other things. You might have to suggest, hey, and later on down the line, let's say if y'all live near, and why don't you go on down there to the cigar bar? Or how about this? Go get a gift certificate, give it to him, and say, go on down there to the and then while he going, you go and get you a Calgon bath. That's how you keep your own identity. You don't
Oh,
have to
you
do
just took it. Calgon. Oh,
you
gosh.
don't have to do everything they do at all times.
That
You
is
don't.
true. That is
Mhm.
so, that's very, very true. That is true. So,
I'm sorry,
what?
y'all. I don't have my glasses on to see. And I
Oh,
did that. I did that purposefully because I'm still growing.
mm-hmm.
Um, so sometimes you gotta, if you got triggers and things, what you do is you make sure you don't have those triggers. I take my glasses off.
I know that's
So,
right. No, you're
yeah.
fine. So, what happened between you and the ex-wife? If it's too much, you ain't got to talk about
It's a little personal, but I will say
it.
this.
You ain't got to talk about it.
Mm, I ain't gonna get into all of it.
Okay.
I would tell you what the nail in the coffin was.
Okay.
I got three grown sons, and if I am married to a spouse, my three grown sons don't come first. They
Mm.
grown. They don't come first. Her, her son's still hooked to the apron. They can't do nothing without. So for
Mm.
me, it was very hard for me because I raised to be independent, you know, and they were, and it may not have been all their fault. They were Katrina victims, like literally. There is a picture of her and her family in the Hall of Fame thing down there where they got the Katrina thing, because her and her four kids were sleeping on the sidewalk. So it could be that.
Wow.
But if I have a difference with your child and I'm
Yeah.
not ignorant or rude, oh no, baby, you listen and listen, and I'm wrong. You better take my side any goddamn way, or why? And you better take you can be wrong as cottage cheese.
Listen.
Wrong. He better take your side. Say, R&Y is the salt of the earth. She would never. And then when you get home, what the hell did you do, R&Y? Why did you do
Listen.
that? Well, he
Believe it
better.
or not, that's how he and I rock. That's how he and I rock. That's why
Don't
people are
tell
so
me.
upset.
Tell me.
You don't never tell him that, and I'm like, no, I do. I just don't do it for y'all's
In
viewing
public.
pleasure. That's not how I was
Well,
raised.
she was very much still and at the apron strings for her kids, and her kids were just as old as mine. And I'm not gonna take my boys' word over my wife. I'm sorry. I wouldn't take my boys' word over my husband.
Hmm.
God, husband, wife, children. So that was
Wow.
really the what nailed it. We went to Mardi Gras. I'm very
Okay.
often in New Orleans. I'm often in New Orleans,
Okay.
and we went to Mardi Gras. I don't know why that particular year my feet hurt the entire time.
Mm.
I mean, and then for some reason I couldn't eat the ben. I can only eat beignets. The spices was killing me. Maybe because I hadn't been here in a couple years and I was a little older.
Okay.
I couldn't eat nothing but beignets because I couldn't eat no seafood. I couldn't eat nothing. It was all hot to me. And at one point, keeping my identity, I love to swim. Indoor
Okay.
pool. We're on Bourbon Street and I forget. We the ones with the black balconies out there. We in one of them.
Yep.
And so I opened up the things, listening to the music. I got myself in a bath. Then I went down and went swimming. And her kids thought that was the wrongest thing in the world.
Wow.
And they made that a mess. Now y'all gonna think I'm wrong. Y'all gonna think I'm crazy. Bye. Packed up and left. Oh no.
Oh wow.
I'm too old to waste time to deal with you and your children. You ain't gonna never have to deal with me and my sons. And I expect the same. That's not balance. They don't weigh in on our lives. They don't get to weigh in on our lives. If my fucking feet hurt and I feel like I want to sit up and put my feet up the rest of the day, I don't care who don't like it. She
Wow.
was supposed to be my wife. Feet hurt, and she got them laid up. Not well, yeah, and letting the kids. You got them.
Oof.
You got them. Now you and your kids be happy, cause I'm out, and I've been that way, yeah, for 6 years.
Wow.
Now I did. Now I ain't gonna lie. I
Uh-oh.
did come close. Or well, I came close. Girl, I was dating an elevated Libra. Ooh,
Oh God. Well,
ooh.
us Libras
And
are the
then,
best. You know.
oh, Libra too? Oh
Absolutely.
Lord. And obviously you're an elevated Libra. Oh, I love this elevated Libra. And we just, girl, we just, time and space. And I said, I love you in a place where there's no space and time. That's how I feel about her. Because we
Oh.
not, yeah, but it won't work. So I'm single.
Why won't it work?
um, damn it, Aaron, why are you doing this? I was
Ah.
I wanted her so badly. I wanted the picture of her. I wanted the dream of her. I wanted the magic, the sparks again when women are women. I wanted all of that. And it wasn't realistic.
Okay.
And the whole thing, my nervous system was shot.
Mm.
I was, now y'all gonna call this what you want. I love love. And I was too scared to mess up. And it in turn backfired. I messed up a lot.
I love love.
Yeah, I
but
love
I'm too
love.
scared to mess up.
But love don't love me back.
Ah,
Yeah,
that
too
ugh.
scared. I loved her so much. I was too scared to mess up. And it listen, that's why I stopped doing virtual. I had to go in person. I needed to get my system regulated. I need to get my my nervous system back on track because I was a nervous wreck. I love love like that. And there I go, wanting to lose my whole identity again. And I realized I cannot do this again. I need somebody that's going to feel me in so many different ways that they'll recognize what I'm doing. And they'll say to me, hey, you're walking on eggshells for no reason. Let's figure out what's going on. And it just never got to that. So, but I still love her.
Wow. Somebody asked, who is this? Corio Lover. What's an elevated sun sign?
Whew. It just means and what's weird is, and this was another reason why I wanted this to work with me and that person because my favorite sister, the one who came around first, and the one
Hmm.
when I would lose myself, honey,
Hmm.
I'm in Philly, I'm doing my thing, and I ain't got time for them family stuff, and she would always find me. She's an elevated Libra. The difference is, and I don't mind saying it. The difference is, who the hell you talking to? What the? And then elevated Libra, girl, they thinking from this third eye, and Zen is gonna fall in the room before any words. The regular Libra gonna cuss you out, but the elevated
Hmm.
one, and then they gonna come back with some
Uh-huh.
talking
Listen.
like they was right all along, but I ain't telling them.
Hmm. If
So
that's the case, honey, I'm definitely an elevated Libra. Okay, I
yeah,
definitely am.
mhm. Very much an elevated
Yeah,
Libra. Very much.
I
That's
try.
why I was nervous about coming on here, and I didn't even know you were elevated Libra, but you definitely are.
Why were
Elevated
you
Libras
nervous?
is. Oh, I'm always nervous before people because I mean, if I'm not talking beef sector and bullshit, then I want to
Hmm.
make sure I'm focused, my mind is clear. I want to look up some notes, make sure I got my stuff together, make sure I look cute. But that's how I was when I was a preacher. When I was a pastor,
Hmm.
I would not go before God's people not ready. Meaning I would pray 8, 9 hours before Sunday. I didn't take
Hmm.
outside calls. I didn't listen to any secular music or watch secular TV because I want to be presentable for the body of Christ. Same way I am
Absolutely.
now. When I come on here, I want to be presentable. And then I'm coming on your panel, and I know the standards that you have. So I have to make sure my standards are as, same as yours. So yeah, I was nervous.
I was nervous when you agreed to do it because I'm just
Girl,
like,
I was in like,
it's in Bernie.
I was like in
Like,
30, I was like in 30 seconds. Yes!
because I was talking to Envy, I said I really, really want her. Like she is so well spoken. She's great to look at. I said she's a beautiful woman. She's very smart, and she is very well spoken, and she's very articulate. I said, but I'm gonna reach out to her. And when you said, yeah, I hit it back up. I said, she said, yeah. Now I'm scared. I feel like I just stuck my foot in my mouth. I don't know how this I don't know how this is gonna pan out because people, even when MGO was up here, I was
Mhm. Yeah,
nervous
MGO,
because I'm just like, oh
MGO
my
would
god.
she would definitely cause me to pause. MGO would definitely cause me to pause. hmm
Yes. Hey,
She
K-Fit.
made me
Hey,
go find
gorgeous.
some. She made me go find some notes. Let me go to
You
Google
see
this
what I'm
shit. Let me
saying? Do you
let me talk to
listen?
Chat GPT about her. MGO.
Listen. And this person on the screen right here, K-Fit, that's another one that
I
makes
was
me
going.
nervous sometimes when I talk to her because I'm just like, Lord, I hope I don't sound stupid because it's just something about super intelligent women that just makes me like,
Peach and our first peach and oh Jesus, I lost it. Peach and she's one of them ones that when they talk, you kind of like yes, sensei.
uh-huh.
And Kimberly Black and
Listen,
Kimberly Black. I want to be her
I
when
don't
I
think I've
go
ever
live.
heard Kimberly Black talk. I don't think I've ever heard Kimberly Black talk, but based
I,
off the
oh, I
stuff
had
she's putting in
she
this
don't hit
chat, yeah,
she will hit Tiva's. She's hit Tiva, I think, before. Or was
okay.
that was that what was the other peach name, y'all? She's in law school too. I
Oh,
forget.
Purple Peach.
Purple Peach. When
Yes,
Purple Peach,
Purple Peach.
RY, K Fit, uh that's the company I want to keep. I want to keep Kimberly Blacks and all of that. That's the company I want to keep.
Listen, listen.
Hmm
It's just
I
something
like
about
I like them women.
having a
But
conversation with a
MGO,
woman.
I
Baby,
gotta look. I gotta step
MGO
back for a
had me
minute.
shaking.
NGO,
You see what I'm saying?
I said, ooh, I know all about the 501c3s, but 55 grand ain't enough to pay yourself. They thought that was a
See,
lot. 55 grand from a 501c3 is nothing. Nothing.
you have to
She can,
consider the source. Them people probably ain't never seen 55,000 cents.
and not
Okay.
only that, anybody doing 501c3 work, it's charity.
Yes.
We're not even really getting paid what we should, and we put in 90 hours a week, and we don't get back what we should. So if I'm getting 55,000, that's the least I should be getting
Hmm.
with all the community work I'm doing. That's just how I operate. I didn't
You
get it.
know,
I didn't understand that.
you know another person that sometimes when I used to talk to them makes me nervous because she is also crazy smart and very
Mhm,
intelligent and well spoken.
mhm.
Brianna.
Um, I used to love to hear Brianna until she cussed me out. But
Well, I mean,
I,
well,
I,
she
I,
cussed me out too, but hey.
well, yeah, but you know what? I would tell you one thing, and I'm gonna give her this. She's
What?
the best interviewer in the beef section.
Baby, listen,
She's the best
listen.
interviewer in the beef. You give her, you running up on second, but
That
yes,
that baby Brianna,
Brianna
I
is
can
the
sit
best
and watch
interviewer.
her do interviews like none other. And believe it or not, my favorite interview that I've seen her do, a lot of people don't like him, but that Tommy
Mhm.
Sotomayor,
Woo!
babe,
I like now.
that was
I
my
like
favorite one I seen her do.
what's her mentor, the one
MC
oh,
Shaky.
I liked her Shaky interview, honey. Shaky
Oh
was giving it
God,
to the
yes,
girls. I
yes.
when Brianna ain't on her bullshit and she right on top of it, and she talking to I've seen her hit links where the person up there wasn't really getting what we needed, and she'll hit that link and be like, "Look, this is what we need to hear." Da, 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 da. She's a very good, uh, uh, um, she's very good with investigating and figuring things out.
Hmm.
I just wish she would use her powers for good and not evil.
She is an amazing interviewer, and I would sit
Yes.
and just watch her interviewing styles because I have to agree. I think she is one of the greatest in this sector. I really, really do.
Mhm.
Barbara said, "All right, you need to give yourself credit too. There are no flies hanging off of you. You're a fabulous conversationalist. Thank you so much. Listen, there's something
She
that
is.
I
That's
always
why I was
say.
nervous.
Don't be nervous. There's
Mm-hmm.
something I always say. I really don't like talking in front of people. But you put a
Mm-hmm.
mic in my hand, I will sing you on the benches.
You gonna talk? Okay.
It's just
Mm-hmm.
something about me talking in front of folks that just really makes me go, ugh. But I
I love
forced
it.
myself to do it. I forced myself to do it. And what made me force myself to do it? I was working for Apple and I
Mm-hmm.
was doing tech support. And so the head of Apple's tech support came to me. They were at my site and they came to me. They said, "Hey, we need three more trainers. You don't have to apply for it because I want to just give you the job anyway. But you still
Yeah.
have to go through the process." I said, "That means I have to talk in front of people?" He said, "Yeah."
You got to
So I'm like,
stand in
okay.
front of all the new recruits and tell them all about their
Listen.
job. Yes, ma'am.
So going through the interview process, right? I had to create a training manual about whatever it is I wanted it to. So what do I do? I am a church girl that loves choir music. So the panelists of people that was interviewing me, I turned them into a little choir. By the time I was done, they were singing the entire day.
Okay.
And so then I got the call that I said, "Well, like I said, I was going to give you the job anyway. Here's your plane ticket. You got to go. What was it? Where's
Oh.
South by Southwest? Austin." So I went down to the Austin campus and did the training there on an actual Apple campus. Babe, when I tell you, it was only
Mm.
5 of us in
I
there,
I
and
tried for
every day.
years. I tried for years to get in Apple. I mean, I'm a tier three
Listen.
technician. I tried for
Okay.
years to get in Apple. I don't know if it's because I worked for so many other communication places, they didn't trust
Mhm.
me, but I could never get in there, child. And I got all
It's
the
it was tough to get
merits
in
to
Apple,
do
I ain't gonna even lie to you. But when we get to the campus
it.
or whatever, we were there for 2 weeks. They put us up, gave each one of us rental cars, stipends up front, everything. And said, "Hey, if you spend anything, keep the receipts and we'll reimburse you when you get back to Virginia." Okay, cool. No problem.
Hmm.
First day, I'm thinking it's gonna be, "Hi, my name is blah 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 blah." Nope. Soon as we
Nope.
walk in, it's only 5 of us
Oh,
in the
you to
class.
the wolves.
Soon as we walk in and say, "Hey, every day you're going to present." I said, "Whoa, wait a minute, huh? We're doing what?" I said, "I don't even know some of these niggas in here." Mama. And so they went ahead and they gave us the training manuals and they said, "Hey, this is what you have to
Mhm.
do. You have to make it relatable. You have to do." I said, I don't want to have
You
to
could
do
do
all this." So
that.
I did it, got through training, go back
Yep.
to my site. Soon as I get back, full class full of new hires.
See,
18. I'm just like,
see.
oh my God, my tolerance and my
See.
patience for this is low. And I
Yeah.
hate it talking in front of people. Hate it. To this
I
day, I
used to
still hate
hate.
talking in front of people.
I used to hate to hear my voice on playback. I don't listen to any of my lives or anything. It's still cringe. I'm still cringe. You know. So
Really?
when I worked for Verizon for 7 years, right? So
Mhm.
Verizon, they had mandatory training, and they gonna play back the best and the worst calls
Oh
of the
God.
week. And see,
Yeah.
at this point, I'm over there in when I'm in escalations at this point. I'm giving the money
Okay.
away. Like, and what happened? I ain't got time to argue with it. How much was it? $60? I'm giving credit to account $60. Like,
Exactly. Go about your business.
but so when you did good or bad, they would be in a meeting and they would play it back. And oh my God, I used to hate to hear my voice in front of everybody. I would shrink. I would. Oh,
Yeah.
but now there's a reason why I come on camera. There's a reason why, because for a long time, I had a supervisor who told me once how she hates the sound of my voice and move my desk all around
What?
the other side of, yeah. Mm. Anyway, so for a long time, I avoided that. But now, mm-mm. After I started preaching, that was it. That was it.
Listen. I'm forced
Mm-mm.
to listen to play because outside of my actual 9 to 5, I have a whole separate
Mhm.
career. I do music, professional background vocals, and everything like that. And this,
Oh, nice.
yes, and this kind of ties into that whole identity crisis thing.
Hmm.
I've been doing professional background for years, right?
Wow.
For years. So then the opportunity arose to then be like, okay, well, we want to feature you on this single and we're going to do a
Hmm.
live recording and you're there. Whoa, wait a minute, huh? Hold no, 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 no. What? So I got to come all the way to Canada for this? Are you okay?
I gotta be there.
Right,
People
exactly.
gonna people
I
gonna
have to
see.
be there.
Then they can judge me.
See
If
what
they
I'm
see
saying?
me, then they can judge me.
You see what I'm saying? And I will always say, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm fine back here in the background. See, because background vocals, one thing about it, we ain't ever got to worry about what we wear because it's going to be black.
Hmm.
Number two, we just stand back there and we just goof off and we have a good time. But my friends would always tell me, hey, yes, you're a background vocalist. You're great at what you do, but
There
that's not your
comes a
only
season.
identity. Right. They said
There
that's not your
comes
only
a season.
identity. Like, we know you to be an amazing soloist, but you're
Yeah.
so comfortable identifying yourself as a. I said, yeah, because being a background vocalist, I get to hide from a whole lot of stuff. I
Hey,
get to. It's
you
easy and
know.
it's comfortable. But sometimes being complacent in an assumed identity is also
Hmm.
very detrimental.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
detrimental.
I mean, you can literally have a whole spiritual death and not even realize it.
Not even
Like
realize
me, I
it.
don't go. Yeah, I don't subscribe to any organized religion. Um, and you'll never hear me say I'm a Muslim, I'm a Christian, I'm a Buddhist, I'm a this, because you remember when, now I'm going to mess you up. Azusa Street, Carlton
Oh,
Pearson.
Colin
Remember
Pearson,
when
baby. Woo! God rest his soul. Rest in heaven, sir. Jesus Christ.
Girl, that was
MGO,
Azusa
RNY,
Street.
did you do
Okay.
it?
Bitch.
MGO, I did do it. I did do it to the point and to the fact. Not too long ago, I was presented with an opportunity and I almost turned it down.
Oh.
But a couple of people said, you may not want to do it. So I said, I'll think about it. I'll think about it.
Hmm. But there
They
comes a
wanted me so
time when
bad. The
when
Netflix people, they
yeah.
wanted me so bad. The Netflix people found my number and
Why? Where my other hat? Why?
called me and said, "Hey, you may want to do this." And
Mm,
then a couple of other people reached out to me about it too. And these are the same people, believe
mm.
it or not. It's a small world. You never know who knows who. It's the same people that Jay Wilson knows from my area. So I'm like, ugh, okay, whatever, I'll do it.
All right,
Went
that's
th-
a little, but
went through
I'm
the
gonna
whole
yeah.
audition process. Went through the whole audition process and everything, and landed it. So yeah, MGO, I did it. I did. Scared out of my
Yes,
mind, but I did it. I did it.
that's okay.
But yeah,
That's okay. Yeah, you know you definitely. I'm sure you know. I don't need to tell you that you know you definitely call for greatness and something much bigger than we even can see right now. I know you know that. You know it's your spirit. This you know everybody always talks about that it factor and things like that.
mhm,
I say, you know, it's not worried about the it factor. It's a soul factor. It's a spirit factor, and you definitely line up with that. So you need to really get used to coming on camera and popping out, and because it's
yeah.
gonna happen. It's already happening for you. Just go ahead and girl, go on and walk it out. Walk it out. Walk it out.
Hey, he said, "Well,
Yes,
get out."
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, your steps are ordered by the Lord. That's where you're supposed to be. Just, you know, I didn't know I wasn't always like this, but I made myself. This is something that I identified with as being me now. When I became a preacher and I was on those pulpits, that is something. So I don't care about coming on. God, I might be fat this season and skinny the next. I don't care. You're gonna see
Okay.
me because
You
my
gonna
face is gonna
see?
speak. Hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, honey, when I tell you,
You'll get used to it. I'm happy for you. That is an accomplishment. That
thank
is a
you,
big step. It's not to be taken lightly at all. That is a huge step. And congratulations. I'm happy for you for sure.
thank you, thank
Yes,
you, thank you.
yes, ma'am.
Nerve-wracking, but yeah, nonetheless, that opportunity, that Netflix opportunity opened up a
They don't,
whole bunch of doors that I
yeah,
mean,
they don't
doors
come
out,
around twice in
doors
a
out of the
lifetime.
country.
Hmm. Yeah, they don't
I
come back
mean,
around. Hmm.
going to sing for fashion shows and all. Honey, yeah, it's a whole. But hold on,
You
I'm gonna
need
put it
somebody
back
to
here.
carry your dress? Do you need somebody to carry your
That
dress?
is
I can
crazy.
carry your dress and your coat for you. If you need
Uh,
somebody just to carry, I could be your armor bearer.
hold on, I'm about to put the when I put the name back here. Don't say
Okay.
nothing.
Uh-huh.
Hold on.
Okay, I won't. I gotta put my glasses on. I can't see nothing. Hey, y'all! Oh, hey! I couldn't see nothing.
Hey,
Okay, I don't see nothing. Did you put it
hold on,
there?
I'm sending
Okay.
it now. There you go.
Oh, girl.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I got chills, girl. I just.
Yeah.
Oh, that's something. Oh, that's that elevated Libra.
See what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Yes, ma'am. I,
Uh,
I I I can't even because I can't say nothing. I can't even. I got chills. My hair is standing up on my arm.
really?
Yeah, that is because that's a once in a lifetime thing.
Absolutely. See, but what I did
Let
not know was that person's
uh
name I put in there.
hmm
I did not
hmm
know that
You never know.
I would go to this church in my area and I always
Hmm.
recognized the last name, but I never put two and two together. And then
Mm.
I found out it was his uncle. I said, get out of here. Didn't even know it. Been tight with
You
his cousin
lying.
for all this time. Didn't even know. Because child, I really don't care about all that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's one of the
Mm-hmm.
major things that I've done. And then of course I did Stellar Awards. I've done that. Yeah, I've done all of that.
Mm.
I've
That's
done
your
that. She
identity.
talks so much.
That's how you maintain who you are. You make sure you keep those things alive and in existence throughout whatever relationships you ever had in life. You make
Thank you,
sure you
Coria.
constantly are doing the things that make R and Y happy. Because when she's happy, Envy's happy.
That
And
is
when
very
Envy's
true. That is
so
very, very true. It's
yes,
interesting. I'm seeing a lot of these Azusa questions in the chat.
oh,
It's
let me
amazing who
okay.
knows about this. Hold
Yeah,
on.
how old y'all is knowing about Azusa?
Is that
Well,
Azusa Pacific or the Azusa Ministry? The Azusa Ministry.
Azusa Ministry. We're talking about Carlton
Hmm.
Pearson. He was the
Yes,
first one that
Lord.
came out with being inclusive. And when I started my
Yes.
own church, I had an inclusive church. One day we might have a rabbi stop past, and he may speak to us about the wonders of God and how we should maintain holiness. And it may be a literal priest from a Catholic Ephesus comes over and speak. The universal love, non-denominational word, trying to figure out how
Hmm.
we're going to live time on the earth instead of in
Yep.
heaven. That's yeah, that kingdom word. Yeah, that was that. Yeah,
Uh-huh. JB, that's exactly what it was called. Live at Azusa. Baby, I had
yeah,
that VH.
Azusa, baby,
Honey, I
and
had that
Carter.
VH. Hey, listen.
Oh, Carter Pearson. I was like, oh, go ahead, curly hair, light skin. Okay. I used to listen, Bishop Paul Morton, when he does open the floodgates of heaven, when he
Uh-huh.
does that song, and when Carlton Pearson does that by and
Yes.
by, he does that gospel medley, both of them could take me to church. They take me to church every time.
Listen.
Every time.
Listen.
Mm-hmm.
I love me some
Mm-hmm.
Bishop Paul Morton, okay? But I love his son even more.
Yeah. Oh,
Baby,
for sure.
PJ
Oh, for
PJ
sure.
ain't nothing to play with. Ain't
Yeah. Oh, for
nothing to
sure.
play with.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
For
wow.
sure.
It's crazy. It's not crazy. It's just amazing to me how people in spaces can recognize certain names and you wouldn't even think that they would
Mm-hmm.
even recognize
Who
that. So
knows Azusa Street? I said it, yeah, as a okay.
live at
That's a
Azusa.
Azusa Street,
Woo!
baby. Yes, that was when we first had our first people come on I can't remember in the Christian television network, and we used to have
Yeah. Was
Paula
it no, was
White
it
and all of them.
the Christian Broadcast Network or something like that?
Christian Broadcasting Network. Paula White and all of them used to come on, and Joyce Myers, and we would sit there and enjoy that, and then Carlton Pearson, and then remember they ostracized him because he became non-dominational. He was the first one to do it. That's why
I
they
thought they
ostracized.
ostracized him because was it
He
him
was
that said
gay.
that there was no such thing as hell or something like that?
He
I
did.
think that was
He
yep.
he did say that. See, that's the thing about me. I don't have to ascribe to everything you believe to believe. You
No,
know.
my thing is this. My thing is this. And somebody asked me this question not too long ago because my roots are apostolic, right?
Mhm.
Oneness, Jesus name only. That's it. That's all.
That's it.
When
That's
I
all.
left Texas and we moved to Virginia, we
Mhm.
joined this Kojic church, but they are Trinitarian.
Oh, that's Father,
Father,
Son, and
Son,
Holy
Holy Ghost.
Ghost.
You see
That's
what I'm
Father, Son, and
saying?
Holy Ghost.
So
Yeah.
so then they would do that song, Holy, 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 God in three parts. Baby, every time they sung that, I stood up there and I got right
Blessed,
quiet.
blessed Trinity. I love that song. I'm
I ain't
sorry.
even sing that whole second half of that part because that's not how I was raised. Oneness. Because what you're not gonna do is you're not gonna sit up here and say my God had multiple personalities.
Hmm.
My Jesus wasn't bipolar now. But then again, he may have been because he said he was
Don't
all
tell them
things to
that.
all people.
Shh.
But my Jesus ain't bipolar.
He
One
said he's
God.
omniscient, didn't he?
Ah, that's what he said. And so then somebody asked me, I
and
think it
you
was Cruiser. I think it
and
was
you know
Cruiser.
what?
And I
Hmm.
told her when it came to
Hmm.
transitioning from apostolic, which is oneness, to Kojic and they're Trinitarians, they
Hmm.
said, well, how did you balance the two? Simply this: chew the meat, spit out the bone.
You spit out the
And
bones,
that
baby.
applies to
Spit out them
any type of
bones.
organized religion.
Everything in life. Yes. Chew
So
the
that's
meat
how I deal with
because
that. Spit out the bone.
the, the only reason why I was at the AME church
Hmm.
because the only I don't know you ever heard of a church called Redemption? They
Yes.
always on TV and stuff. I used to go to that church, And when when the pastor and his wife started doing all the crazy stuff, the only other church was the AME church. Now I don't care what CME, AME, ABCDEFG. As long as I can come in there and worship God, I'm gonna worship.
That's it.
I'm gonna worship.
That's it.
And I happen to be a person who likes pomp and circumstance. I love incense and myrrh, and I love, I love that. I'm
Uh-huh.
sorry.
Yes.
I love it. I love a
Absolutely.
good old Negro spiritual. I love them.
Oh, I love it all. I love it all. And it's funny, JB mentioned this. JB said, "You
Hmm.
see what happened? Did you see what that man just did with the finger thing and everybody went sick? Let me tell you something. Honey, you are talking about Bishop Shante Younger. Let me tell you
That's
something.
what
He
we
is
were talking about. It.
apostolic to the bone. Okay? The Ramp Church. I live maybe 3 or 4 hours away. I want to say they're what, Lynchburg somewhere. And baby,
Mm.
when I tell you, when Shante Younger did that, I'm sorry, let me put some respect on his name. When Bishop Younger did that, I
Put
stood
some
up in
respect
my
on
house and I screamed. I said, "Thank you." Because to me, what that
it.
symbolized
Hmm.
was I know who I am, I know what I believe, and I don't care who's around me. I'm going to
Hmm.
represent who I am and what I
That's
believe.
it.
So if I believe
That's
oneness,
it.
baby, and if my one finger offends you, then be ye also offended.
That's
That's how I
that's
feel.
that's identity. That's knowing your
That's
identity.
identity.
Is
Hello.
he is true in his convictions, and that's who he
Listen.
is. That's identity.
Woo.
And then the way you keep that in a relationship, that other person doesn't come into your life. And if they change you, it's for the better, but not to change your mind about what you believe and what
That's
you love
very
and,
true.
and what you do. That's how you keep your identity. Any other time, I'm not a person that has to be friends with your friends.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not a
Very
person
true.
that like I don't need all of certain things, but if I'm with a person that likes it, I don't mind. But I stay to myself. Now, the funny part is about that with Bishop Carlton Pearson. Now
Uh-huh.
everybody's all inclusive. Everybody's a
Yes.
non-denominational. Everybody is come as you are. But when he did it, man, they kicked that man out the church
With the quickness. And my
with the
thing about
quickness.
that, and my thing about that is this. I feel like this whole non-denominational thing has always been here. Always been here.
Hmm.
The problem was I feel like people were too afraid to really submit and actually put a name on it and actually say, no, I'm non-denominational because they are scared. One thing about the black church
Mm.
is the black church loves to shun somebody. They
Oh
love
my
it.
God. We can shun like no other.
Do you remember what recently well, not recent, but not too long ago? A lot of people, they were in the uproar about this. To me, I thought it was quite comical because I'm just like, why are y'all mad? This isn't new.
Mm.
There was a church, once again, in Virginia somewhere.
Mhm.
She got pregnant. The teenage girl got pregnant, and the pastor made her go before the church and confess. People was in such an uproar. I'm like, and I asked a couple of people, why are you so mad?
That's
That don't
responsibility.
even happen. What do you mean that doesn't? I Once again, I grew
That's
up apostolic where we wore in order for a woman to even go into the pulpit, you had to have on pantyhose, and
I
your
was getting
skirt or
ready to
your
say that
dress
to you.
had to be below your knees.
You know how I changed the AME church I used to go to?
My mom
I
grew
knew
up
I was
AME.
I knew I was preaching third Sunday. I knew it, but I came up in there with a white pantsuit on, and then when the bishop called me up there and said, "Minister, go," she go minister. Oh, I forgot, and I just walk up there with my pants on. That's how
Okay.
we. That's how we came up. You had to sneak and do stuff. You had to really, go against the grain to
Oh
wear
yeah.
pants. Girl, to wear
See,
pants.
the apostolic church I came up in, we couldn't wear pants at all. We wanted to go swimming, we had to go swim in skirts. I mean, my old apostolic church was so old school. We couldn't even have TVs in the house. My pastor called them
Oh
one-eyed
wow.
devils, and we would be like, but we have. This is when stuff like Sega and the Nintendo and stuff was out. We were just like, then how are we
Mm-mm.
supposed to play the game? He said, you better go get you a computer monitor.
and you ain't getting no cable.
Okay. But let me tell you how my mama went against the grain. My mom was the president of the kitchen committee.
Oh,
So the saints after Sunday morning service, they would always come to our house and my mom would always cook. So she would make sure she got
mm,
there early. And she said, all right, y'all. Y'all can go back here in this room. Y'all can watch TV. Y'all can keep this door closed. Cause I don't need all these niggas in my business what I got going on in here. I said, okay. That's fine. Honey, one day I just felt so emboldened and empowered, honey. I walked out the room with the door wide open. I yelled at my sister, said, turn that TV down. I felt like everybody in the house said, what?
what?
So much so the pastor's kids ran back there in the bedroom and started watching TV. I said, "Oh,
What?
okay, absolutely." And my mama told our old pastor, "You don't dictate what goes on in my house."
Not my
It's all
house.
right.
Not not mine.
Not at
Mm-mm,
all.
never.
And she said, "Because I don't walk in your house and dictate what you got going on
And
in there."
tell you how to do with your house. Mm-mm. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do
Child.
it.
So yeah,
Mm-mm.
black churches that they're very, very interesting. So I was like, I don't know why y'all are in such an uproar about the pastor making this girl stand up in front of the church. I said what I don't hear a lot of is y'all are so focused on what she did, but I don't hear y'all addressing the drummer that got her pregnant. The
Right.
drummer get to stay,
Right.
but y'all making her stay. Oh, okay, whatever.
Hmm.
This is why I say the black church is something else. It is. Gotta love them. Gotta
But
love them.
it's funny because coming up in the church like that, one of my book chapters is called Freshman, but it's
Okay.
not about school. It's about freshmen and coming up in the church and the stuff going on behind the scenes and all that kind of stuff that people don't,
Yeah.
Uncle Pete living in the basement and all that kind of stuff.
Ah, yeah.
That's
Uncle
why
Pete.
nobody could never ever pastor bishop would tell me what to do in my house. Mm-mm,
Oh, absolutely not. I wish you would.
mm-mm. I wish you would, because it's too many. I sing too much. You know, I want to say this, and then I want to get off of here because I'm overstimulated. And what'll start
It's
happening?
okay.
My eyes will start darting, and I'll start,
Uh-huh. How long have we
but
been on here?
again, I don't
Oh,
know how
2
long.
hours and 46 minutes. Jesus Christ, it doesn't even
Girl,
feel like it.
I know you lied. Okay, but
Wow. Okay.
I I know, like I listen to my body now when
Yeah,
and any other
you will
time
want
I'm gonna
to.
rock it out. We're gonna be on here 8 hours. No,
Uh-huh.
ma'am. No,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
you get
I
too
need to
old for
get some.
that.
Yeah, I need to get some sleep later. I don't need to be wound up.
Okay. That part.
Oh, I would love to, if you ever think of me again on a
Oh,
particular
absolutely.
subject, please invite me.
Oh,
Of course, I'm going to
absolutely.
always be in the chat and I'm always going to be sharing you out. You
I
have my
appreciate
full
it.
support.
Thank you, baby.
I'm rooting for you. I really hope you can accomplish everything that I was never able to do on here, the way spiritually and mind, body is spiritual, not churchy, but
Right.
spiritually, touch the people, get them in here, laugh and joke. Last week it was an awesome show, even though,
Yeah.
just look at the different women you have coming over here. Look at that,
Yes. Yes.
so I'm proud of you. If I
Thank
could be
you.
godly proud of you, and I'm praying for you, and you have my highest support.
I
And chat,
appreciate that.
I am so very sorry. If I put my glasses on, the glare would bother me. I'm not manic, but I could go into mania from something like that if my eyes keep darting. Just a good lesson for you guys when you see somebody that pull back a little bit. But I want to thank you because I couldn't do both. I wanted to enjoy RNY, and I couldn't do that and enjoy the chat.
I
So
understand, baby.
I'm gonna go back and read the chat though, and if any of you guys have questions or anything from today, I will be live tomorrow. I don't know what time, but I'll answer them then for sure.
No
I'm gonna look in the
problem.
chat. Yeah, and I'm
And I
gonna look
did
in the
see some
chat.
I did see the, moderator dropping your link to your channel in here as
Oh,
well,
thank
so
you. I appreciate
yes.
it. But
You're
thanks for
very welcome.
having me. It
Thank you
was an
for
honor.
coming.
You've been
Absolutely, and we will do this again. Absolutely.
yes, you've been a gracious host. All
Thank
right. I
you.
see you guys. I'm sorry, Chad, I didn't communicate well, but honey, I'm too old to do two, three things at the same time. You think I'm going to, if you think I'm jumping subjects now, could you imagine if I read the chat?
Oh,
All right,
baby,
I see
listen.
you.
Thank you for coming in, Bernie. All right, y'all. Here we. Well, it does not feel like 2 hours and 48 minutes. I swear. Hey, pretty purple. I didn't even get to see you. I love this. It's such a place of peace. I enjoyed the Wednesday show as well. All I can say is thank you, much love. I caught the end. I'll catch the replay. Thank you so much, Pretty Purple. And I hope you are doing well. I really, really do. Listen, who is this? Oh, I thought somebody was texting me. Listen, I had a ball. M. Bernadette, listen. She is such a sweetheart. She is amazing to talk to. She made it very easy to talk to, okay? So y'all check her out. Her channel link has been dropped, honey. It's best when we do it all together. All right? So once again, like I always say, I appreciate you lending me a pair of seconds out of your day because time is the most expensive currency that you will never be able to get back, okay? So I just want to be so appreciative and just let you all know thank y'all for letting me borrow a few moments of your time, okay? So, like I always say, go ahead, honey, love on yourself, but find somebody else to love on too. I hope and pray everybody has the most productive and successful week, and I will catch y'all in these YouTube streets, all right? Bye.